Barn, save up to 40%. Pay no city sales tax, pay no state sales tax, and save up to $3 with a coupon at TobaccoBarnTucson.com. If you shop somewhere else, people might say you don't know whether to scratch your watch or wind your butt.
Funny guy.
Tobacco Barn, Nogales Highway, just south of Valencia. Check TobaccoBarnTucson.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-2794. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-2794. That's 800-575-2794. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
What's keeping you from learning the language you've always wanted to speak?
Too hard.
Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's interactive lessons, podcasts, games, and more make learning fun.
Fun isn't hard.
Right. And in 10 minutes a day, Babbel's bite-sized lessons are designed to get you having real conversations in as little as 3 weeks.
That's not long.
It's not hard.
It's perfect.
It starts here. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Fun for the crew, fun for the family, fun for everyone. Dave & Buster's is the place to be for all things fun. With hundreds of awesome games, massive screens showing every single game, and their incredible menu of top-notch food and drinks. There's no better place to eat, drink, play, and watch than Dave & Buster's. Make Wednesday the highlight of your week at Dave & Buster's by experiencing half-price games on Wednesdays. That's right, every arcade game, half price. Dave & Buster's at Tucson Marketplace, your Wednesday game day viewing spot.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. We are the sports station that Tucson turns to for all the latest news when it comes to Arizona men's basketball, along with all the play-by-play action. We are Wildcats Radio 1290. Live from the CNWT.
From the what? Central Northwest Tucson. Duh.
It's DK on the Sports Tip with your host, David Kelly.
Radio. Just when I thought I was out, they drug me back in.
Featuring J.W. Madden.
Don't tell me about flip-flops, man. I'm a native.
And Cricket, getting you home with traffic and weather.
Camp on Melt Lemon, not in the left lane on the freeway.
Here we go! And now, a man who has not one, but 3 first names, David Scott Kelly.
No. No, I mean, last week we talked a bit about how Utah and Arizona were picked at the very bottom, DK, of the conference. Oregon State, on the other hand, coming in with the favorites. Everybody knows how good that program is. I'm just perusing the Pac-12 statistics currently, and it's Oregon State, Oregon State, Oregon State, Oregon State. Number one in runs, number one in home runs, number one in average. Also number one in walks. That's a big strength, obviously, of the Arizona pitching staff. And number one in strikeouts. So they certainly have some free swingers up there with the Beavers.
They know how they understand baseball. It's been one of the more consistent clubs in the Pac-12 conference over the course of a number of years. I mean, when you talk about teams, I mean, again, I just mentioned UCLA, consistently, generally one of the teams at the top of the Pac-12, but this year at the bottom of the Pac-12. Oregon State, since they arrived kind of mid-last decade, really the mid this century, beginning of this century, right around 2000, 2004, 2005 was when Oregon State really kind of started arriving at the top of this conference and begun playing deep into June and winning their first national championship, and they have been a consistent program through and through. And at some point, depending on where they land, so we don't know exactly what the makeup of their future is going to be in terms of the baseball side of it. We know the football side has got some deals with the Mountain West Conference. We know that the basketball side has got some deals with the West Coast Conference, and how's that's going to work out on the baseball side in terms of who they play moving down the line will remain to be seen. But for sure, Oregon State has been a team that has been one to contend with in this conference, and everybody has had to deal with them. And interestingly enough, we're going to have to deal with a familiar face this evening on the mound for the Oregon State Beavers as Aiden May will start for the Oregon State Beavers tonight. We've seen a lot of Aiden May. Had a chance to watch him several years ago over at Pima College when he was dominating the mound for Ken Hockamy's squad, and then he came over here and pitched very well as a frontline starter for the Arizona Wildcats. Made the decision to not return here to the U of A and pursue the final stages of his college career at Oregon State. He is a guy, and we mentioned just last week when he was the Pac-12 Pitcher of the Week. This is going to be a fun outing tonight between Aiden May and Jackson Kent as Aiden May tries to stand in the way of his former teammates winning the Pac-12 Conference Championship tonight. And JW, you know he's going to be motivated.
Oh, yeah. 5-0, 2.7 ERA this year, DK. So, yeah, I mean, and he's very familiar with the ballpark. It's such a great story when you have a guy come back and have a chance. These moments, because there's still a lot of friends he's got on the team. So there's a situation where you're trying to prevent your friends from winning a title, and that's a thing in sports. When you have players move teams, there's always situations where if both teams are successful, I mean, who's to blame a guy? I'm always supportive of any Arizona Wildcat who decides to move on, so long as there isn't bad blood between both parties. And, who's going to tell a guy that Oregon State is a bad place, bad landing spot, DK? I mean, you just mentioned their success since 2005. They've only missed the tournament twice in that stretch. So super consistent.
Yeah. And actually, they come into this weekend, although the Wildcats are in first place, Oregon State is the higher-ranked team this week. They are the number 6 team in the country, and they've played like it at 39-12 overall. They have 7 more wins. If you were going on overall record, they would be pretty much 6.5 games better than the Arizona Wildcats at this point, as the Wildcats come in at 32-18, but Arizona on top right now of the conference by a game and a half.
They had opposite, right? Because Arizona got off to a bit of a sluggish start. I think they were 1-7 DK in their first 8 one-run games was Arizona, and Oregon State came out crazy hot in the beginning and has cooled off a bit once they got into conference. So the tale of two halves of the conference. Oregon State obviously is the favorite coming in. Struggled a little bit there in the mid, but that's such a dangerous team coming in.
And we'll have all 3 of the games right here on Wildcats Radio 1290. All 3 of those games will begin at 6 o'clock. with coverage at 5:50. Brian Jeffries will join us for those games. And again, Brian will be with us here coming up a little bit later as well. With us now is the third member of our program, back with us from her mini vacation.
Hello.
Is Cricket. Cricket,
Greetings.
how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
We're doing very well. Now, you were off we were off for 4 days. You were off for the last 2 days. How were you? How was your 2-day hiatus from the madness known as radio?
Well, I got to see my nephew graduate high school.
Yay!
Nice. Now, what high school did we get to?
CDO.
CDO.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
Yay.
And did he have did he graduate with honors?
Yes.
Is he as smart as his Aunt Cricket?
Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, he's I think they call it the green and gold honor roll.
Oh.
So yes,
Yeah.
he did get honors.
Nice.
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay. So
And we
what's
did well.
what is next for this young man?
Well, he's going to have a week off, and then he's going to start registering for classes. Maybe pick up a couple of jobs in the summer. Maybe he
Okay.
could work here. Maybe he could do promotions here.
Maybe so.
There you go. You know, we'll pull him into the business just like we
Poor
pulled
guy.
you into the business at a young age, and he'll never leave.
Right? Exactly.
Does
Yeah, that was
he
a
like Ray? Is he intrigued by what his Aunt Cricket does?
No, when he was growing up, he thought everybody's aunt was on the radio. It wasn't cool at all. Like, he just thought that
That's what ants do.
every aunt
Yeah.
did that, right? Yeah.
That is great. Yeah, so every voice he heard, every female voice he heard on the radio, he's like, oh, that's somebody else's aunt.
That's my friend's aunt. Yeah.
That's my friend's aunt. She's on
Yeah,
the
speaking
radio
of female
too.
voices, we had a long conversation with Shannon yesterday about how nobody has left the building. That's what DK's talking about.
Perfect.
Nobody's been. You guys have all been here for so long. Remember a couple weeks ago, we're talking about that picture that was taken.
Or that video.
The video.
the video.
Yeah.
That's right, at the end of the hall. Yeah. So had a good long conversation with Shannon filling in yesterday. Did a great job as always. Obviously,
She's awesome.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah. So how did you rate your replacements?
I think they're great. Shannon's been reporting traffic conditions longer than I have.
That's what she said. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're absolute professionals. I'm lucky that they're our coworkers. And they're cool people too.
I used to be one of those cool people.
You still are one of those cool people.
Outstanding. All right. Well, it's great to have you back, Cricket. We look forward to your reports today and tomorrow as it starts to heat up here in southern Arizona. Brian Jeffries is going to join us. Coming up next, we'll talk some baseball with the voice of the Wildcats as Arizona looking to clinch the Pac-12 Conference Championship tonight with a win over Oregon State. Cricket, though, first getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's your 1290 Wildcats traffic and weather together. With collisions that are reported Grant Road and Columbus, Thornydale and Tangerine, Valencia and Oak Tree Drive, also a crash on 1st Avenue south of River Road, and road work and some backups westbound Valencia at Park Avenue. About 65 the low, about 94 for tomorrow, and sunny and 93 now. And I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Taco Bell's new Cravings Value Menu is a big deal, or rather, it's 10 big deals. From new items like the loaded nachos to familiar favorites like the spicy potato soft taco. Check it out at a participating Taco Bell today. Available for a limited time only while supplies last.
You are paying too much for gas because you're paying for gas. Why pay for gas when you could pay for a new Blazer EV at O'Reilly Chevrolet and save $7,500 right off the top? That's just where the savings start. So use your electronic phone and go to O'Reilly.com and see them all in person on Broadway next to Park Place Mall, or call 747-8000. Trade up and trade in and put gas in your rearview mirror. See us today at O'Reilly Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Frog and Firkin, a standout among the bars and restaurants in the University area. Frog and Firkin does what very few pubs can, combine a festive atmosphere and great beer with a menu that could stand on its own in any restaurant setting. A sports enthusiast dream with over 30 TVs, 30 beers on tap, and over 100 import and domestic bottles. Daily drink and food specials, and the kitchen is serving until 10. A standout in the University area. Frog and Firkin. Eat local, support local. frogandfirkin.com.
Testing.
Some people best rate for you is a rate.
Sounds good to me too.
Based on Terry, who keeps
It is.
and makes the car behind them.
Oh my gosh.
It hide your disappointment slightly.
Save with DriveWise and the Allstate app.
Does JW
and
know
only
how
pay
to
a rate based
push
on
the
you.
buttons?
I think he does. I think
Not
he's an
available in every
expert
state
at
subject to
that,
terms and conditions. Rating factors and
Well, he
savings vary,
says
and
he
in some
is.
states your rate could
Is
increase
he?
with high-risk driving. Allstate Fire and
I would
Casualty
say
Insurance
that
Company
he
and
is.
affiliates,
He's-
Northbrook,
he's
Illinois.
much more,
At University of
he's
Maryland
much more
Global
better at
Campus,
it than I
we
am,
give our
that's
students
for sure.
credit.
All right.
Credit for deciding while stuck in traffic to
get a
get a
good one,
bachelor's
Monique?
degree. Credit for managing 3 kids, 2 dogs,
boy.
and a full-time job to pursue an MBA. Students at UMGC can use prior learning or relevant experience to earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's, and graduate students can transfer up to 12 credits toward their master's. Plus, get your application fee waived through May
Brody again
31st.
on the
Flexible
broadcast
online
the
and
other
hybrid
night
classes
against
start soon.
Arizona State.
Learn more at
I'm trying to talk him
umgc.edu.
into
Certified
stuff.
to operate in Virginia by
I'm trying to
Chev.
get him
You're home for in-depth conversation.
do one
Nothing
game
they
in
do is by
Scottsdale, and
surprise.
he's
They
got some
telegraph what they
trivia.
want to do, and then they brag about it afterwards. It's a way to keep us at each other's throats.
The most pressing issues.
This was just a white on black run, and you can already see the narrative starting to form in real time.
Bisbee.
Fresh perspective.
The air marshals will not be on the airplanes because they're down at the border escorting illegal aliens to their Ubers.
America's most loved truth tellers live on Tucson's home for conservative talk. This is Freedom 1400.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic?
Hey, DK, I'm going to do an insider here, so
Yeah,
just
yeah.
wait after the open.
/joy through him.
Wildcats Radio 1290. It's time for your Arizona Insiders.
Oh, sweet.
Each weekday, Wildcats Radio 1290 brings you all the latest news and opinions on U of A athletics. So bear down, Tucson, and let's talk Wildcats. Our Arizona Insiders are brought to you by Coors Light, official corporate sponsor of Arizona Athletics. There's nothing like game day in Arizona.
And there's no better insider than the man that calls the games himself. He is Brian Jeffries, the voice of the Arizona Wildcats, and he joins us right now. And Brian, we're on the verge. We're calling it Clinch Night because the Wildcats' magic number is at 1. You have seen a number of these in your broadcast career. What's the toughest thing, I guess, that these guys are facing as they try to get that last win to bring home a conference title?
Don't think about it. Just take it as another game. And seriously, I think that's what Chip and the coaches have tried to do this week. Don't go out of your routine. Don't make it any bigger than it is. They know. I mean, the players know exactly what's on the line tonight and this weekend. And so, I think their mindset is very good. But at the same time, you know that somewhere in everybody's head, they're thinking, hey, just one win and we're champions, and they'd love to get it done tonight. If they don't, maybe the pressure builds a little bit for tomorrow. But just the same, if they go out and just play their game, as Chip tells them all the time, just play your game, they'll be fine. Doesn't mean they're going to necessarily win, but you just want to go out and see if they can play their best tonight. I think that's the bottom line.
Obviously, one of the storylines of this season has been that this team was picked ninth but at the beginning of this season. I guess baseball is probably that one sport where you just really don't know. You can forecast maybe how good I think football teams are going to be, how good basketball teams are going to be. But baseball, there's so many moving parts with such big rosters that I would imagine it's hard to really get a grasp on before this season starts who the best teams really are.
College baseball doesn't get the same in-depth media coverage as the other sports you mentioned do, and I think that's part of it, that people outside of Tucson didn't know what Chip Hale had assembled here, and a lot of it's based on what you lost from last year. And so you lose your top 5 hitters, you lose a couple of your starting pitchers, you change pitching coaches. There were a lot of unknowns coming into this season, and I think that a lot of people, at least before the season started, thought, okay, well, maybe Arizona just doesn't have it this year. It's in a rebuilding mode, and they're not going to be able to get back to where they have been the last couple of seasons. And I think I remember when this team was 10-7, 10-13. And Chip Hale talked about patience. He was not going to let the record reflect what he knew this team could do. And since that point, they're 22-5, something right in that neighborhood. And so they figured it out. They're playing excellent baseball right now. They're not perfect by any means, but I think that they support each other very well. I think everybody holds up the other guys. They keep everybody accountable, and they're also a little goofy, which is always good in baseball.
Brian Jeffries joining us, the voice of the Wildcats. I thought it was interesting. We were at the media availability the other day, and how Anthony Suzak admitted that there was a little bit of tension between the pitchers and the hitters the last couple of years because those offenses were so good and the pitching wasn't maybe up to the same core.
Yeah, and you could feel it. You could feel it being around the team when they were kind of physically separated. I mean, that's it. They'd huddle here and huddle there, and there's things that went on certainly that I wasn't aware of, but you could feel it. You could feel that there wasn't quite, I think, that energy, that synergy that you wanted to see. And this year it's been different, and it's the personnel. That's number one. What Kevin Vance has done with the pitching staff, which is remarkable, so that everyone's holding their own now. And so the offensive numbers, maybe they're not as good as they were last year, but they're good enough. Defensively, they're good enough, and pitching, they're good enough. So all three phases have been working in concert this year, and that's why they're in first place right now.
So now as you watch this team pitch under Kevin Vance here in his first year, what do you see different than what you've seen maybe in the years past?
Well, number one, they don't walk people.
Yeah.
I mean, that to me, that is – I can't tell you how big that is, how many games, even a couple games that Arizona has lost here recently. You could go back – I'd go back to their loss in Salt Lake last Friday when Jackson Kent walked one batter. That guy scored. No, that wasn't necessarily the difference in the game, but later in that inning there was an error. And so you had two mistakes in one inning, and that put Utah ahead. They went on to win the game. Now, if he doesn't walk that guy, if they don't commit the error, does Arizona? I don't know. What would have? But that's how the fine line. So don't walk people. I think that's huge. Kevin Vance has taken each individual. He's a very analytical guy. He goes into the lab and he takes a look at these guys and their physical traits, and he watches them pitch before the season started and said, okay, this is what I want you to change. It may be their release point, it may be their delivery, maybe how they stand on the mound. He went through every single detail of each pitcher, and he changed a lot of guys, and they accepted that. And I think that, to me, is probably the biggest reason that you've taken some players, some pitchers that were here last year, and they have improved. You expect guys to improve, but they have made monumental improvement. And then, of course, you bring in a guy like Clark Candiotti, Kyler Haney, some of the new faces that have bolstered and added more depth to the team, and it's all added up to one of the best staffs in the country.
Brian Jeffries joining us, the voice of the Arizona Wildcats. Wildcats and Beavers this weekend. Final Pac-12 regular season home series, hopefully with some regional to come. And I know you're the guy. You're a guy. You look at all the RPIs and all of those things. You're very sound on that element of what's going on in all the sports that the Wildcats are involved in. So, are the numbers there to host?
No, not right now.
Wow,
they're not. I think if Arizona, number one, they have to win this series and maybe have to sweep the series. So let's say they win 2 out of 3. I think they would have to at least get to the championship game up in Scottsdale, if not win it. And the problem is that there are 16 teams that host. And so you've got to find 15 teams that you can squeeze into. And if you just look at how the other thing, David, is that the selection committee, this is a very subjective part of their duties. There's no numbers there that they go to. So they look at the RPI, they look at the strength of schedule, they go through all those different numbers. That doesn't always tell the story. Auburn has a great RPI. It's a 500 team right now. Okay, they're not getting in to a regional unless they win the SEC tournament. But yet they've got this great RPI, so you can't base it just on that. And the other thing, and I don't know how much, again, every committee changes because the people on the committee change. So what other things do they take into consideration? History, hosting. All right, Arizona has before. Oregon State has hosted a lot, more than Arizona has here in recent years. Do you take a look at stadium capacity? Hi Corbett's bigger than almost any stadium in the country. Do you look at hotels, availability of hotels? Well, Tucson's got plenty of hotels. Do they look at that? I don't know. But I just think there's so many factors. It's too subjective. There's no way of drawing an easy line. But I think if we're sitting here right now today on Thursday afternoon, I don't think Arizona's in a position to host unless they finish this season very strong.
Brian Jeffries joining us, voice of the Wildcats. You mentioned Oregon State, their success, 6 national championships in this decade. What have you seen when you look at how that program was built and how they've been able to sustain that? Because we were talking just in the opening segment how, very unusual for UCLA to be at the bottom of the Pac-12. You really haven't seen that type of drop-off with this Oregon State program.
Well, it started with Pat Casey, who was their longtime coach there, and the program really hadn't done much before he arrived. And he made the conscious decision to not solely recruit in California, Southern California. The problem was that USC, UCLA, Stanford, Cal, Arizona, ASU, UC Irvine, Long Beach State, Cal State Fullerton, all of those schools would beat them on recruits because of the history of the programs, the proximity, who wants to go play in rainy Corvallis, etc. Well, Pat Casey figured out that there's a lot of talent in the Pacific Northwest. So he started building his program. He continued to recruit California, but he recruited Oregon and Washington, places that had been, I think, kind of untouched for quite a while. At least there hadn't been an effort there. And keep also in mind that Oregon did not have baseball at that time. So Oregon State was the sole, major college program in the state of Oregon. Washington had the worst stadium in college baseball. It really wasn't even a stadium. So it wasn't difficult recruiting against them. Washington State, again, you're a small town in Pullman out in eastern Washington. So he took advantage of all of that and built some of his early success off Northwest players, along with California players. But because then once you start getting successful, and he's a very good coach, and the fans started showing up, and it blossomed into a program that has now sustained. And so even when he retired, I think that was when Mitch Cannon took over. He'd been with the program, understood what the whole, I don't know, the culture was already set, and he just continued it. And so to their credit, it's a great program, incredible fan base. And they're going to keep winning. That's all there is to it.
I wonder is you obviously call these games. You see all the guys at all these programs, And I'm wondering, do you take stock of guys that you look at and you say, yeah, I think that kid's a major leaguer, and then they actually do get to that point? I ask that question just because obviously one of my favorite ex-Beavers is Stephen Kwan, who's with my Guardians right now. And I'm wondering, like, when you looked at a Stephen Kwan play at this level, did you think he could be a major leaguer? Do you look at guys and say, yeah, that kid, I know they're talking about the Paisano kid who potentially is a number 1 pick this year. You've seen him play before. Do you say, yeah, that kid's definitely a major leaguer?
Yeah, I'm the last person to ask that question to, because my experience in baseball, I got cut on my sophomore high school team, and that's as far as I ever got playing ball. No, seriously, I mean, I can't. I shouldn't be the one to judge talent, and I really can't. I enjoy watching players, and I love watching guys that love the game of baseball. And when you see guys that love to play baseball, you hope. That's what my feeling is. Gee, I hope that guy makes it because he has such a great love for the game. But I'm not one that tries to predict who's going to, because otherwise, I mean, I would never get that right. We joke all the time about, Kenny Lofton was on the Arizona baseball team, but he didn't play. He was a pinch runner. That was it. I don't know if he even got an at-bat because, of course, he was a basketball player. Well, then look what happened to Kenny Lofton. So who would have known, trying to judge on something like that he was going to turn out to be a Major League All-Star, multiple Major League All-Stars. So, yeah. I'll let others make those judgments.
What was your first, going into the Pac-12 tournament next week, what was your first thought on that last year, how it plays, and what teams have to do to navigate it?
It's difficult because I think every college baseball program, with few exceptions, are built on 3 starting pitchers. And when you get into a situation where you've got to win 4 games or 5 sometimes, there's a lot of pressure there. It's difficult. It really is. So my hope, and I actually were talking around with the guys here a few weeks ago, is that, and it's played out that way, is that Arizona goes into this weekend knowing that they're going to be in a regional somewhere. And so the pressure's off. Now, you want to win 1 game this weekend at least. You want to win the championship. There's a great pride factor there, being the number 1 seed, all those advantages that go with it.
Playing at 7 o'clock.
Playing at 7 o'clock. That's another big one. I was trying to tell my counterpart, Bill Riley at Utah, about playing a 2:30 game in Scottsdale. And he's never been to Arizona in May. During the day, I said, Bill, be prepared. If you play at 2:30, it's going to be hot. So anyway, if you get to Scottsdale, you kind of know your fate at that point, then sure, you would like to win that tournament. Everybody wants to win. They're not going to start resting guys because they don't need it, because they may need it. It would help their seeding. We'll go back to what you mentioned earlier. I mean, could Arizona host a regional? It's not out of the question, but I think when you get to Scottsdale, that's going to tell us a lot about if Arizona can. They have to be successful there. So go up there and have fun. Win the conference this weekend. Go up there loose. Enjoy it. If you win it, great. If you don't, you're going to play the next week.
All right. Well, Brian, have great calls this weekend. We'll look forward to hearing them.
This should be a great atmosphere, electric atmosphere, and so I'm looking forward to it. I really think that Tucson's been behind this program, and this season in particular, I think the fan base has been outstanding, and I think they're going to show this weekend, and we'll see that's going to have an effect on how this game and these games are played out.
Absolutely. Hi Corbett has always been fun come playoff time. Brian Jeffries, the voice of the Arizona Wildcats cricket. Get us home every 20 minutes on the 5s with the traffic and the weather.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. With collisions reported 1st Avenue south of River Road, Valencia and Oak Tree Drive, and also Thornydale and Tangerine. And road work along Cortero west of I-10 at the Santa Cruz River through the 24th of this month. And weather-wise, 62, mostly clear overnight, 94 tomorrow and 88 now. And I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Big O Tires. At Big O Tires, shop top brand tires with the lowest tire price guarantee. Now through June 2nd, buy 3, get 1 free on 4 select in-stock Cooper, Nexen, Nitto, National, or Sumitomo brand tires with installation purchase. For all the details, visit your locally owned Big O Tires or go to bigotires.com.
Let's see, something different for dinner. Searching restaurants near me.
Right here, ma'am. How can we help?
Gee, same old, same old.
Wait, we're right here. Ma'am, our restaurant's just a few blocks from you. Why is she not seeing us?
Back to the usual, I guess.
Ma'am, can you not see us?
Nope, they can't see you. Because you're buried deep in the list of local restaurants. You are invisible online. Introducing Cumulus Boost. Get a boost, get found, get on the map. Learn more at cumulusboost.com.
Here's a sample of what people say when they find out they can save up to 40% on their favorite tobacco products at Tobacco Barn.
Wow, that's fabulous.
That's just great.
Woo! All right, yeah, that's incredible.
That's crazy.
Actually, it's not crazy, it's smart. Why would you buy tobacco products somewhere other than Tobacco Barn and pay up to 40% more? You can save up to 40% at Tobacco Barn. It'd be crazy not to. You also pay no city or state sales tax at Tobacco Barn because they're on the reservation. And you can save up to $3 with a coupon at TobaccoBarnTucson.com.
Could you repeat that, sir?
At Tobacco Barn, save up to 40%. Pay no city sales tax. Pay no state sales tax. And save up to $3 with a coupon at TobaccoBarnTucson.com. If you shop somewhere else, people might say you don't know whether to scratch your watch or wind your butt.
Funny guy.
Tobacco Barn, Nogales Highway, just south of Valencia. Check TobaccoBarnTucson.com.
Thank you for calling Alaskan AC. Now. Thank you for calling Alaskan AC. Now.
Hey guys, what are you...
Gotta take this. Thank you for calling Alaskan AC. Now. Thank you for... Uh-huh. Right. You don't say. Uh-huh. Now.
Hold it. What's with all the nows?
People want to know the best time for an elastification.
And you're telling them...
Hello? Now.
Well, there's no bad time for elastification, but the best time is now.
Pretty soon, Arizona temps are going to put a strain on your AC. Now is really the best time.
You're not telling people about all the money they save?
Now.
Or how Alaskan AC will make their AC last longer?
Now.
Or the big 1-year guarantee that their AC will not break down?
Thank you for calling Alaskan AC. Well, Ron wants to tell you a bunch of stuff. I know. That's kind of what I told him. Okay, thanks. Oh, by the way, now.
The best time for elastification is...
now.
Schedule at AlaskanAC.com. Now.
Free tickets to a U of A baseball game? That's what Clipper Automotive is giving you a chance to win. Clipper Automotive is now a proud partner of Arizona Athletics and would like to give you the opportunity to win a pair of tickets to a University of Arizona baseball game this season. All you need to do is stop by the shop on Thorndale Road and put your information in the Enter to Win box. Stop by to enter at Clipper Automotive. No purchase necessary. Clipper Automotive provides honest, reasonable, and stress-free automotive repair services and looks forward to servicing your vehicle.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of special IRS tax programs that are available and free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing throughout the country, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-251-2305. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-251-2305 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings.
Intro in 10 seconds.
Call 800-251-2305 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-251-2305.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. In fact, why don't you text the word app, A-P-P, text app to 520-848-1290. I will send you a link. You can download our app. Our app slaps. There's lots of good things on our app. If you go to our app right now, you're going to hear a little bit about an honor for one of your Arizona Coyotes. Connor Ingram, who spent some time here in Tucson, is the winner of the Masterson Trophy. He was presented with that this year, and that is an award given to an NHL player who best exemplifies perseverance, sportsmanship, and dedication to hockey. The Arizona Coyotes goaltender sought help for obsessive-compulsive disorder, OCD, and depression back in 2021, and he is now this year your Bill Masterson Memorial Trophy Award winner. So congratulations to Connor Ingram on that honor. And, of course, Connor will be moving on with his mates to play in Salt Lake City next year. Also, you can read about the Diamondbacks' big win yesterday, and we'll get into that, dive into that a little bit more later. The fellas have the day off. Kelly Presnell, ladies and gentlemen, at the ballpark today, carrying around his big camera. He is here and ready to go for this big Pac-12 conference regular season ending weekend as the Wildcats going for a championship in the conference, magic number 1. And folks, there is no better photographer than Kelly Presnell from the Arizona Daily Star. And I swear to God, though, Kelly only has one outfit. I think that's the only outfit I ever see him in is that gray flannel shirt that he wears, and his blue jeans with his knee pads, and a big floppy hat to protect himself from the sun. But one of the good.
Well, you can't miss him, DK.
Exactly, you can't miss Kelly Presnell at any sporting event here in the city of Tucson or across southern Arizona. All right, we did not get a question of the day yesterday up, and I want to get it. In fact, I had some things going on here at the ballpark, so I didn't get a chance to post it yet, but I'll give it to you now, and then we'll get it posted, and you can head on over to our website, Wildcats 1290, and vote on it a little bit later. But one of the things, J-Dub, that happened while we were gone was the changing of the guard with the Phoenix Suns after their first-round exit from the NBA playoffs at the hands of the Minnesota Timberwolves. We weren't sure what the fate was going to be of head coach Frank Vogel. Well, we found that out last week. In fact, last Thursday, after we did our last show on Wednesday, the next day, the Suns decided maybe they were kind of, hey, David Kelly, he's off, so we'll break some news while he's gone so he can't talk bad about us. But they fired Frank Vogel. We're surprised by that?
No, I mean, two things. Vogel's style is very big-centric. It always has been his whole career. So I was always curious to see how that would work with the likes of KD and Booker primarily running the offense. I'm not surprised. I don't think I would personally have made the same decision just because of continuity. But when you're talking about KD's, that got a very short window of time, Booker as well, as far as that contracts are concerned and the roster they have, and that big move they made last summer to bring Beal in, if they don't win, if they don't advance to the Western Conference Finals at least in the next few seasons, then that's they're going to blow up the roster, right? So I think it's a situation where new ownership comes in. Vogel had a chance. The success rate wasn't there. Very spotty all season long, and getting swept in the playoffs. That's an ownership group that wants to win right now. Shiba's very clear about that. He's not here to pick, teenagers or whatever he said last week. He wants to turn all those draft picks into, players who are ready to contribute to a title run right away, or at least a deep run in the playoffs. So I'm not so super surprised. How about you?
I am. I'm a little bit surprised. Matt Ishbia, he strikes me though as somebody that, especially now that I've kind of seen it for the time that he's been the owner, he likes to make rash decisions. I think he made the rash decision to bring in Kevin Durant. He made another rash decision to get rid of Monty Williams at the end of last season. And now I think he's made another rash decision to do this. He made a rash decision to go in-house or in a totally different direction with his TV deal, and some of these things, I guess you consider, hey, here's an owner that's trying to move the needle, but I think also that there's got to be a level of consistency, I think, at the top of sports organizations, and I've said it for years that to one of the most consistent organizations across the board is the Pittsburgh Steelers. As much as that pains me to say that, but they don't make quick, dumb, decisions at the drop of a hat. They hire their people, they stay with their people, they entrust their people, they give their people the support that they need to be successful, and that's one of the reasons why they're one of the top franchises, I think, in all of sports. And I think it's what some of these moves that he's made initially are going to essentially potentially set a bad precedent down the road for what this ownership is going to be. If it sound, I mean, to put it plainly, he's kind of beginning this run as a sports owner, kind of in the meld of a Jerry Jones. And is that really what you want?
Yeah.
Do you want an owner who is that hands-on? Being at the top of your franchise, and I worry where that's going to go with this outfit as they move forward with him in charge. So that's our question of the day. Do you have trust in this Suns front office with Matt Ishbia already being on his second coach? Do you have trust in this front office? Matt Ishbia firing Monty Williams last year, hiring Frank Vogel, and now firing Frank Vogel and hiring Mike Budenholzer. Now, I will say, J-Dub, I like Mike Budenholzer.
Yeah.
I like him I liked him in Milwaukee. I thought that was probably not the right decision for them to part ways with him there. I mean, it's crazy when you think that the two guys, I mean, it's only 3 years ago that Mike Budenholzer and Monty Williams were in the finals, and now they're both coaching in different places.
Yeah, they were coaches of the year, right?
Yeah.
And then they got fired. I think I agree. I think Budenholzer is a very good coach. My biggest issue, DK, is looking around the landscape of the NBA. The best teams right now are all grown from within. So there's only minimal movement. You look at all those teams that have been cobbled together. I'm talking about teams like the Lakers, teams like Phoenix. They haven't had great success outside of that bubble run for the Lakers, right? I mean, more modern teams that have had great success. Look at what Denver did last year. Some of the younger teams, obviously Minnesota's made some trades. They got Rudy Gobert, big one, Defensive Player of the Year. But other than that, all those guys were drafted there. All the guys at Oklahoma City were drafted there. I look at guys like Cam Johnson, Mikal Bridges, and what you really need in today's NBA, DK, is perimeter defenders because there's so much skill and shot making everywhere you look. You can't, it's revisionist history is whatever. It's every single Suns fan wanted Kevin Durant. Every single one. 95% of Suns fan wanted Kevin Durant. And as you said last week when they were knocked out, there's really nowhere they can go. And that's because of these contracts. They've picked up these huge max deals, and they don't have any wiggle room. I've even heard, some rumors they might trade their center they just acquired over the summer last year because that's the only piece they have that they can really move. So wow. I think Ishbia is clearly he's fanatical about winning. I think coming from Michigan State, right? Isn't he a Sparty? And all of the success that Izzo had up there, and he's really locked into that. I think everything I've heard is he wants to win now with this group as fast as possible. And what I heard him say on his exit interview, DK, was, they're going to go and evaluate each position within the franchise and determine whether or not it's the best moving forward to win. And that's what he said in response to a reporter's question about Vogel's job security. So, I mean, if this decision is made, Budenholzer, as you said, I think it's a lot about personalities at this point because it's all superstars in that locker room, right? And it's really about making everybody happy, but making sure everybody is on the same page with the same goal, and that you're not hurting each other through your play. And whatever infighting there is going on, they don't have a lot of time to figure this out. They only have 2, maybe 3 years total. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. I'm curious about what the next move is. Right. I mean, I'm curious to see what they plan to do, if they want to just run it back as is, or if they're going to make some roster moves.
Well, we'll find out. Mike Budenholzer will be introduced tomorrow, we understand, at a noon press conference as the new head coach of the Phoenix Suns, a Phoenix native from up in northern Arizona. That was a storyline that was very prevalent during the NBA Finals back in 2021 when Budenholzer's Bucks knocked off the Suns after the Suns were up early in that series, and the Bucks came back to win it in 6 to get his first championship as an NBA head coach, and now he'll try to, like you said, cobble together what this squad has been put together by James Jones and company, and see if he can recreate that magic here in the desert beginning next season. So we'll hear from Mike Budenholzer tomorrow, and we'll have a lot of that for you here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
You think Mike Budenholzer has a big, petrified wood collection at his house?
I don't know.
That's where he's from.
Petrified, is that the I don't know that I've
seen
a lot of petrified wood.
He's from Holbrook, and it's right next to the Petrified National Forest in northeastern Arizona.
Petrified wood. I might like to get some of that in my house.
That's cool. It's really shiny and really hard.
Okay. Well, I've never been to Holbrook per se. I've been up near Holbrook, but I've never been to Holbrook. So
it's on the way from Albuquerque to Flagstaff.
Right.
If you ever make that drive.
Exactly. Well, how about the fact this game starts at 6 o'clock tonight, so we're still 2 hours away from first pitch, but there was a line longer than I have seen for any game this season to get into Hi Corbett Field here. So if you are coming out here tonight to see the Wildcats, you might want to get here early. If you come to games here, parking is not always very easy, but as I speak, there are still plenty of parking spots in front of the main entrance here at Hi Corbett Field. So get on down here and get yourself one of those parking spots, as the Arizona Wildcats are going to take on the Oregon State Beavers. And I mentioned they've won 6 national championships in this century. They had the run of 3 in a row, 2005, 2006, 2007. Then they went 6 years between those two, the championships winning again in 2003, and then their back-to-back titles once again in 2017 and 2018. So it is a program that has been very good, as we have talked about, and they will put out on the mound tonight a former Arizona Wildcat in Aiden May, a former Pima College Aztec in Aiden May. So there's going to be a lot of folks that are going to be watching this ball game tonight that know a little bit about Aiden May and what he brings to the table. I mean, he still has a lot of supporters up on West Anklam Road in that Pima Aztecs program. The Aztec men's program actually also playing some baseball this weekend, so I doubt we'll see Ken Hockamete, his brother Jason, down here this weekend, because the baseball program going to be playing tonight. In fact, they are in action right now in the opener of the district tournament, the NJCAA West District Tournament. It is a double elimination tournament that is happening up at South Mountain College in Phoenix. South Mountain beat Pima to win the West Regional, or the Region 1 championship, I should say. But Pima got selected as an at-large for the district tournament. So they've got one more shot to make the national tournament. They must win this double elimination event this week. And so also want to remind you that the NJCAA Division I National Track Championships going on this weekend. That started this morning in West Monroe, Louisiana. We had a chance to talk to Tyler Rogers earlier this week, who is with the Pima Aztecs and who will be looking to win an outdoor high jump championship after he won the indoor high jump championship earlier this year. So lots happening. We'll see if we can get you an update on that score for Pima College coming up in the next hour. It is DK on the Sports Tip. We're coming to you live from Hi Corbett Field here ahead of tonight's series opener between the Arizona Wildcats and the Oregon State Beavers. First pitch will be at 6:05. Our coverage will begin at 5:50 with Brian Jeffries on the call tonight. J-Dub is back in studio along with Cricket. I'm out here at Hi Corbett. David Kelly, you're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic. With roadwork Linda Vista Boulevard south of Twin Peaks Road through May 23rd. And heads up for collisions that are reported in clearing 1st Avenue south of River Road, Valencia and Oak Tree Drive, and also Thornydale and Tangerine. Clear skies and 62 overnight, 94 tomorrow, and 88 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by USPS Ground Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable.
Every business faces challenges, but shipping shouldn't be one of them. Turn shipping to your advantage with USPS Ground Advantage from the United States Postal Service. Learn how at USPS.com/advantage. USPS Ground Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable.
We return now to Eugene Snarkle, UberTube video star, and his best friend Doug.
Eugene, what happened to just buying a new set of tires at Jack Furrier's?
Way too easy, Doug.
Yes, Eugene. Jack Furrier's makes buying tires easy. So what's up with all the rubber cement and electrical tape? And why are you putting it all over your tires?
It's basic science, Doug. This Uber hack should give me another 6 months on these old treads and make me locally world famous on UberTubes.
So you'll be risking your life. And your reputation.
Yes, Doug. It's all for my UberTube fans.
Well, could you at least wait a week before you try driving up Mount Lemon?
At Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, we make buying tires easy. Our local warehouse is filled with thousands of great options, all at one low price. If you need tires for your passenger car, truck, SUV, van, 4x4, RV, boat, or UTV, call us or go online to jackfurriers.com. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Since 1960, we're here to get you there.
You know it, your neighbors know it, and let's face it, the mailman knows it too. Your yard just isn't what it used to be, but thankfully, Dorado Rock Materials can get you, well, your yard anyway, back to what it once was, and even better. Dorado Rock Materials has just what your yard needs, from decorative rock to boulders and everything in between, brought right to you. And if you need help spreading it, we can help with that too. Dorado Rock Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
If you're a do-it-yourselfer looking for quality car parts in Tucson, look no further. Advance Auto Parts has 6 Tucson locations with over 75 years in business. Advance Auto Parts is the largest car parts retailer in the U.S., and customers know they can trust their products, like DieHard batteries. Now with free installation, only found at Advance Auto Parts stores. Take advantage of our same-day delivery and pickup. Just visit our website at stores.advanceautoparts.com. And make sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Advance Auto Parts, for all your car repair needs. Now a proud radio sponsor of the University of Arizona Wildcats.
1 in 4 Americans have a disability. I'm one of them. I'm also a working mom who cares deeply about making sure every child with a disability thrives by getting their access needs met. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and prep for college and career. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Join us at easterseals.com.
The 2024 NFL schedule, powered by AWS, has been released, and single game tickets are on sale now. That's every epic showdown, every classic rivalry, every primetime game, 17 games for all 32 teams. Visit NFL.com/tickets to purchase tickets today. The NFL Ticket Network, including Ticketmaster, SeatGeek, and Sports Illustrated Tickets, are the official marketplaces for NFL tickets.
Most financial advisors I know have had a moment in their career where they thought, with more control, I would do things differently for my client's sake. This is Natalie Fernandez with Meridian Wealth Management, and our firm was created by advisors with the understanding that we need flexibility, control, and decision-making power to create the best experience for our clients. If you're an advisor interested in learning more about our growing firm, call me at 719-1433 to talk more today.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal, the sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us. From the feelings that move us to the places that pull us on the roads that unite us. With nearly 6,000 stores and over 17,000 auto care centers, Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to keep you firing on all cylinders.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. We are the sports station that Tucson turns to for all the latest news when it comes to Arizona men's basketball, along with all the play-by-play action. We are Wildcats Radio 1290. Live from the CNWT.
From the what? Central Northwest Tucson, duh.
It's DK on the Sports Tip with your host, David Kelly.
Radio. Just when I thought I was out, they drug me back in.
Featuring J.W. Madden.
Don't tell me about flip-flops, man. I'm a native.
And Cricket getting you home with traffic and weather.
Camp on Melt Lemon, not in the left lane on the freeway.
Here we go! And now, a man who has not one, but 3 first names, David Scott Kelly.
Coming to you live from Hi Corbett Field. It is baseball night in Arizona. The Wildcats and the Oregon State Beavers getting set to open up a 3-game series here. It'll be a Thursday, Friday, Saturday night set as we close out the regular season and get you ready for Pac-12 tournament conference play next week up in Scottsdale, Arizona. But first, the Wildcats want to wrap up the regular season championship, and they'll try to do that with a win here tonight against those Oregon State Beavers. We will have the game for you right here on Wildcats Radio 1290. In fact, we'll have all 3 of the games for you. We will not have any broadcast this week for Arizona softball. The ladies are on the road, and they are going to be playing in the regional over in Fayetteville, Arkansas, the Arkansas Regional, and they'll get started with play over there. I believe their first game is tomorrow, and so we'll be keeping an eye on all of that this weekend as well as the Wildcats try to advance through that double elimination process back in the NCAA softball tournament after missing the softball tournament last year for the first time in some 35 years. So the Wildcat ladies are the number 2 seed for that tournament. They will play Villanova tomorrow at 3 o'clock to begin play in that regional. So we'll have much more on that coming up for you tomorrow on the show, 3 to 6, before we head into the weekend. Also, again, the Pac-12 tournament, as we mentioned, will actually start next Tuesday. The Wildcats, as long as they wrap up the number 1 seed, will begin play there on Wednesday. All right, let's update you on what was a pretty good week for your Arizona Diamondbacks.
Diamondbacks download.
Baseball stuff! The Diamondbacks took 2 out of 3 from the Cincinnati Reds this week, and they had a pretty good ball game yesterday, actually day baseball out at the ballpark, and there's nothing wrong with that. The roof was closed at Chase Field, but that didn't stop Christian Walker from getting things going early.
Abbott rocks and delivers. Swinging a drive to left field and deep. Hurtubise going back to the fence. Gone! Into the first row. Christian Walker gives the D-backs a 1-0 lead.
Mike Farron back on the radio call for the Diamondbacks. He was an announcer for the team for a number of years and has since gone on back to XM satellite radio and the MLB channel there. But good to hear him back in the broadcast seat for that day game yesterday as Stephen Garagiola, the radio announcer for the Diamondbacks, moved over to the TV side as Steve Berthoum had the day off yesterday. And an outstanding outing by the youngster, the right-hander, the number 1 prospect pitching side for the Diamondbacks, Brandon Pfaadt. He was very good on Wednesday.
Here's the set. Runner bluffs going to the 2-2, called strike 3. Backdoor breaking ball again, and it's 3 hitless innings with 6 strikeouts for Brandon Pfaadt. Pfaadt ready. And the pitch on its way to Steer. Swing and a miss. Got him to chase a slider. And that's strikeout number 7 already for Brandon Pfaadt in 4 hitless innings.
Brandon Pfaadt, 9 strikeouts in 7 innings, allowed just 2 hits. One of those hits was a home run that he gave up, a solo shot, as we heard Chip Hale say this week, solo home runs don't hurt you. Santiago Espino hit that solo home run, and actually it tied the game, though, in that contest yesterday. 1-1 in the 5th, and we would go to the 8th inning. Diamondbacks would have a runner on with Lourdes Gurriel Jr. at the plate.
Carroll gets the lead from second. The pitch. Swing and a floater down the right field line. Fraley racing over. He can't get it. It's past him and into the corner. Carroll will score. Gurriel on his way to second. An RBI double, and the D-backs lead 2-1.
And the Diamondbacks win it by a score of 2-1. It was a 1-2-3 ninth inning for Paul Sewald as he threw just 8 pitches. That's pretty impressive there. 8 pitches to get his second save of the season since coming back off the DL. Ryan Thompson got the win for the Diamondbacks as he raises his record now, gets his first victory of the season to move to 1-1. So no baseball today. The Diamondbacks with a day off ahead of the series continuing homestand against the Detroit Tigers, and that will be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Tomorrow night's game, 6:40 first pitch, and it'll be Kyle Nelson on the mound against Tarek Skubal for the Detroit Tigers. Games at 5:10 and 1:10 at Chase Field on Sunday. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Again, you can call that number. You can text us at that number. We have our question of the day up now. We mentioned it at the end of the last hour. If you were not with us, you can head on over to our Twitter page right now for our question of the day. Do you have trust in the Suns front office with Matt Ishbia already being on his second head coach? Only 4 votes in so far, but 3 of the 4 are voting no on this one. J-Dub, no, Mr. Matt must dial it back just a little.
Well, last segment, you were talking about the Steelers, right? And correct me if I'm wrong, but the ownership there kind of got out of the way, got some smart people involved who could make decisions. Mark Cuban's one of the few, and I don't even know how much personnel movement Mark Cuban. Al Davis is the one we always talk about because, you get guys who think they know better than GMs or whatever. I think the best owners, in my experience, are the ones who hire smart people and let them do their jobs.
Absolutely.
So, I know it's very clear that Mr. Ishbia wants to win now. He wants to have a very successful organization, as he should. He's, new in the ownership business, and all the moves he's made, DK, point to the fact that, he's not waiting around to let players develop. He wants to get players around. Devin Booker, who's been there, 8-9 years now? I mean, Devin Booker's got there since he was 18 years old. So, yeah, I mean, as far as what I'm curious to see, Budenholzer, I'm not so, that's a plus as far as I'm concerned. The style of play, I think, fits better with the personnel they have right there with the roster right now. But I'm just, again, like I said, I'm curious to see what the next big moves, if any, that they make are, because they really struggled in the postseason, DK. I mean, they did not look like a team that was built to make a deep run, and it's really not the 3 guys. It's really the surrounding personnel and how you get those guys to all be on the same page.
So the Suns will, again, find out tomorrow about their new head coach, Mike Budenholzer. The Mercury, on the other hand, played their first game of the season on Tuesday night as the WNBA season is underway across the country, and unfortunately for the Phoenix Mercury, they had to open up their season against the defending champions. But it was still a pretty good night for one veteran guard, Diana Taurasi.
Already, Diana Taurasi in her 20th season, top of the key 3 and knocks it down. How about Diana Taurasi in year 20? Come on. And still doing what she's always done. Over to Taurasi and knocks down another triple, her second of the quarter. Launches another deep 3, 4th of the game thus far.
Then DT right here. Watch this. 6 triples. Oh, yeah.
Thought about it, passed it up Cloud over to DT, and Diana Taurasi knocking down yet another triple.
7 3-pointers for Diana Taurasi in her it just blows my mind when they say 20th season.
Yeah.
20 seasons she's been playing, and she made 7 of 11 3-pointers and scored 23 points in that ball game. Obviously, the big news last week prior to the beginning of the season, the toe injury to Brittany Griner, and no one knows right now how long that's going to be, but that's a huge, huge loss for the Phoenix Mercury. And again, J-Dub, it goes back to what we talked about. When you make the decision to trade out of a pretty historic draft.
They had 3, right?
You were sitting at number 3 in a pretty historic draft.
Yeah.
Probably could have gotten one of these marquee players like a Cameron Brink or what's the girl from LSU whose mind escapes me right now?
Reese,
yeah, Angel Reese,
yeah.
You could have gotten one of those players at number 3, but you choose to go veteran, and sometimes this is what happens when you make those decisions with older players. We've seen Diana Taurasi miss a number of games over the course of the past few years. We've seen Brittany Griner miss a number of games over the course of the past few seasons, and Brittany Griner is hurt again. And you've got a veteran team now with older players, Diana over 40, and that's something that you're going to have to deal with in that situation. The injuries seem to crop up a little bit sooner and a little bit quicker when you're dealing with these older players.
Yeah, it's a much shorter season, too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 40-game season. So when you talk about the NBA, if you lose one of your superstars for, let's say, 3 weeks or a month, DK, you can make that up maybe on the back end after the All-Star break. But a 40-game season in the WNBA, you can't, when you have a short roster based very similar to the Suns roster, right? Based on superstars as the forefront, it's a big issue when one of those superstars goes down with an injury because you don't have a lot of games to make up that loss.
They made 14 threes and lost that game the other night, 89-80 to the Las Vegas Aces.
I watched both the men's, the NBA playoff games that day. I also watched the Mercury play the Aces, and I also watched the debut of Caitlin Clark as well. Watched both the women's games that were on that opening night. That was, by the way, DK, the game with Caitlin Clark. Turns out it was the most watched game since 2001 in the NBA.
Wow.
WNBA, excuse me. So more viewers tuned in to watch Caitlin Clark's debut than had watched any other WNBA game in the last 23 years.
That's what they thought was going to happen. She's going to bring the eyeballs, that's for sure.
Yeah, so they're off to a good start this season. I'm very interested to see how the Mercury do. Last year, obviously only with the 9 wins. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of room for improvement, and when the oldest player in the league and probably league history is putting up 7 threes, 23 points, they only lost that game by 9, right? So I mean that wasn't a blowout that they lost the defending champs, even without their center. So yeah, I mean I'm interested to see how the Mercury look going forward. They definitely are in a situation. Just got done talking about the Suns. That roster is a little tight, so we'll see how it goes.
So Kalia Cooper was the player they got in the trade when they traded the number 3 pick. Decent first night for her, 7 of 19 from the floor. She had 3 of those 14 threes and finished with 19 points to go along with 4 assists and 4 rebounds. So a good first night for Kalia Cooper. But the ladies from Phoenix fall in their opener 89-80. A couple other WNBA notes in terms of former Wildcats. Ari McDonald made her debut last night. No points. 3 3-pointers, missed all 3 of those. Played just 10 minutes for the Los Angeles Sparks. Had 3 assists in those 10 minutes, but the Sparks lose 92-81 to Ari's old team, the Atlanta Dream. Cameron Brink of Stanford, 11 points in her WNBA debut, and former Phoenix Mercury player Kian Nurse now plays for the LA Sparks. She had 23 points in that loss for the Sparks. So interesting. We thought maybe this might be a chance for Ari McDonald to be more of a frontline player, but it appears, at least judging just from the first night, that she may still be in just kind of that backup point guard role with the Los Angeles Sparks, the same role she held with the Atlanta Dream for the first 3 seasons of her play in the WNBA. Also last week, while we were on hiatus, Helena Puello and Esmeri Martinez were both released prior to the start of the season by the Connecticut Sun and the New York Liberty, respectively. New York beat Connecticut in a preseason game, 82-79. The two Wildcats played in that game, although Helena only played 3 minutes and did not score, as Mary saw 8 minutes in that game, had 5 points on a field goal. She played in 2 of the 3 preseason games for the Liberty and scored a total of 9 points, but it was not enough to stick on that roster. Of course, it's a tough business in the WNBA with only 12 teams.
Yeah.
I mean, that pretty much limits you to, about 124 jobs total for the best women's basketball players in the world. The hope is to eventually expand to 16 teams in the next few years, but right now just currently at 12 with a team forthcoming in Golden State. The Valkyries apparently is going to be the nickname of the team in San Francisco. I will have to get a little bit more into what the Valkyries means. But
well, I mean, my cursory knowledge is that's like a Nordic thing.
Yeah.
And, I'm not so sure I've ever associated San Francisco with the Nordic part of the world. But, hey, it's a good name. It's a good, strong name. Why not?
There you go. All right, coming up. We had a chance to catch up with Chip Hale. We'll let you hear that conversation. Also, coming up a little bit later in the show, in case you missed it yesterday, Tommy Lloyd, the head men's basketball coach at the University of Arizona, with Jim Rome yesterday, talking all things basketball as well as the Beastie Boys. So we'll hear Tommy Lloyd's conversation with Jim Rome straight ahead as we get you set. I mean, an absolute line to get into Hi Corbett Field. Right now, those parking spaces close are drying up, folks. So make sure you get out here to the ballpark early for this 6 o'clock first pitch between Arizona and Oregon State on Clinch Night here in Tucson. And, in fact, making sure you get to the ballpark safely tonight. Here is Cricket.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and weather together. With collisions reported Avra Valley Road and Sanders and Avra Valley Road, La Cañada and River Road, and also reported Cortero and Thornydale. Some slowing and construction restrictions westbound Valencia at Park Avenue. 62 the low, clear skies, 94 and sunny tomorrow, and 89 now. And I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Big O Tires. At Big O Tires, shop top brand tires with the lowest tire price guarantee. Now through June 2nd, buy 3, get 1 free on 4 select in-stock Cooper, Nexen, Nitto, National, or Sumitomo brand tires with installation purchase. For all the details, visit your locally owned Big O Tires or go to bigotires.com.
We return now to Eugene Snarkle, UberTube video star, and his best friend Doug.
Eugene, what happened to just buying a new set of tires at Jack Furrier's?
Way too easy, Doug.
Yes, Eugene. Jack Furrier's makes buying tires easy. So what's up with all the rubber cement and electrical tape? And why are you putting it all over your tires?
It's basic science, Doug. This Uber hack should give me another 6 months on these old treads and make me locally world famous on UberTubes.
So you'll be risking your life and your reputation.
Yes, Doug. It's all for my UberTube fans.
Well, could you at least wait a week before you try driving up Mount Lemon?
At Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, we make buying tires easy. Our local warehouse is filled with thousands of great options, all at one low price. If you need tires for your passenger car, truck, SUV, van, 4x4, RV, boat, or UTV, call us or go online to jackfurriers.com. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Since 1960, we're here to get you there.
1 in 4 Americans have a disability. I'm one of them. I'm also a working mom who cares deeply about making sure every child with a disability thrives by getting their access needs met. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and prep for college and career. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Join us at easterseals.com.
Thank you for calling Alaskan AC. Now.
Thank you for calling Alaskan AC. Now.
Hey guys, what are you... Gotta take this. Thank you for calling Alaskan AC. Now.
Thank you for... Uh-huh. Right. You don't say. Uh-huh. Now.
Hold it. What's with all the nows? People want to know the best time for an Alaskan vacation. And you're telling them...
Hello? Now.
Well, there's no bad time for Alaska vacation, but the best time is now.
Pretty soon, Arizona temps are going to put a strain on your AC.
Now is really the best time.
You're not telling people about all the money they save?
Now.
Or how Alaskan AC will make their AC last longer?
Now.
Or the big 1-year guarantee that their AC will not break down?
Thank you for calling Alaskan AC. Well, Ron wants to tell you a bunch of stuff. I know. That's kind of what I told him. Okay, thanks. Oh, by the way, now.
The best time for an Alaska vacation is
now.
Schedule at AlaskanAC.com. Now.
Ask Sherwin-Williams and get 30% off Duration and Super Deck products May 17th through the 20th. That means 30% off our most popular color family, blue. Psychologists have found it to be soothing and relaxing, which makes it especially great for bedrooms and bathrooms. And of course, get 30% off all of our other colors. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Memorial Day deals are here at Lowe's. Right now, save big on Scott's Naturescapes mulch. Get 5 bags for just $10. And there's more. Get up to 40% off. Plus, save an extra $50 on every $500 you spend on select major appliances. These deals are selling fast, so start shopping now. Lowe's knows summer savings. Valid through 5/29. Mulch excludes Alaska and Hawaii. Appliance savings vary based on purchase. See Lowe's.com for details. Selection varies by location. While supplies last.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. We're out at Hi Corbett Field here. It's baseball night in Arizona. Wildcats magic number 1. A victory tonight by U of A clinches the Pac-12 baseball regular season championship. And we had a chance to catch up with one and only manager, head coach of your Arizona baseball team, Chip Hale, earlier this week. And one of the things I asked Chip was about these situations. He's been in it as for the first time now as a college baseball coach. He's played in it, though, as a college baseball player and managed it in the big leagues, a team on the verge of clinching, and what that is like.
And now, the best thing you will hear all day.
Hachi-machi!
It's time for the Wildcat Radio Replay. In case you missed this earlier in the day, we now bring you the best of 1290. It's made possible by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
Yeah, it's, obviously, as the head coach and the coaching staff, you try to take as much pressure as you can off the team. And, this has been a really good year for these guys. We've pretty much won 2 out of 3 at home the whole season, if not swept. So we feel real good about playing in our ballpark. Obviously, Oregon State is a really good team. They've been the favorite of our conference from the selection by the coaches on. So we're just trying not to make it too big of a deal. Our goal always is to win 2 out of every 3, and that's no different this weekend. And if we're going to go to where we think we are going to be able to go in the postseason, then we have to be able to beat teams like this. So it's a good challenge for us. 605, pack the house and use our crowd to our advantage.
You mentioned winning 2 out of 3. What did you like about the way that the team came back and won the 2 games in Salt Lake? Earlier starts maybe than normal for the first 2 ball games, with them kind of being a late morning, faced a really good pitcher on the Friday afternoon game, and then able to come back and win those last 2. What did you kind of like about the way the kids handled that one?
Yeah, I thought it was fantastic because that is a difficult deal. He pitched Van Sickle for Utah, pitched so well on Friday. And like you said, it was an 11 a.m. game Utah time, which is 10 a.m. Tucson time. So you'd like to blame it on the guys maybe weren't awake yet, but he just pitched a heck of a game. So we came back on Saturday, and that's the beauty of having Candiotti on Saturday and Walty on Sunday. We feel like we have 3 Friday night starters. So Candy pitched really well. Proud of our guys.
Yeah, those darn AAA guys think they can just take over the schedule of a stadium. Well, what are they thinking up there in Salt Lake City? Chip Hale joining us. He's the head coach of the Arizona Wildcats. We were joking, Chip, that you guys lost. One of the reasons you may have lost Friday was because Andrew Kane wasn't in the lineup. How can you not have this guy in the lineup every single game? The freshman out of Ironwood Ridge is 16 ribs in the last 9 games, 3 homers now in 3 straight ball games. Man, he has really, really come on and down the stretch for this club.
Who's the dummy that didn't put him in the lineup Friday, right? That was my fault. No, we try to match it up best we can, and like I said, the Van Sickle was one of the few pitchers in our league that's really good against left-handed hitters, but it didn't matter that day, righty or lefty. So, yeah, he's earned his way in there, whether it's DH or first base. He's done such a wonderful job, and we knew he was going to be a big-time hitter, and he's getting the opportunity now to show it, and hopefully it continues and carries us through the postseason.
The thing that, I saw him play briefly in high school, having covered high school here on the television side before I came back to radio. But just looking at the numbers, and the thing that jumped out at me was like, this kid hit 500 pretty much his entire high school career. You see some kids that can hit at the high school level, but very rarely do you see someone that can hit 500 for 3 straight years starting as a sophomore. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
What he can do is he can manipulate the barrel of the bat, which he's got good barrel accuracy, what we call. So he can put balls in play that most other guys don't, and he has the ability with 2 strikes to do that. Where most power guys, like, he has tremendous power, will just swing and miss. He'll go ahead and use a 2-strike approach, hit a single, and I think in high school, if you can put the ball in play, you got a good chance to hit 500.
Chip Hale joining us. He's the head coach of the Arizona Wildcats. I had a chance, Chip, to get out and see the middle game against Stanford and see Clark Candiotti pitched. We had talked to him earlier that week. And what's kind of been special about the way he's kind of come in here, just a 1-year guy, and been able to slot into that middle part of your rotation and really kind of be a guy that you can depend on?
It's been special. We got him from Wichita State and in the portal, and he had been a weekend starter for them, and we knew he had good stuff, but I don't think we realized what good stuff he had. And our pitching coach has refined it, and the curveball and the slider are both working, and they're very effective. And then the fastball's been up to 90. Like the night you were there, it was 95 in the 9th inning.
Yeah,
and that's incredible. And he's kind of an old school throwback. He wants the ball, and he doesn't want to look at a pitch count. He doesn't want to. 6 innings a quality start, not for him. A complete game's a quality start. So he gets some of that from his dad, of course, and we like it. I'd rather wrestle the guy for the ball than want him to come out of the game.
Did you ever face his dad in the big leagues?
I faced his dad. And I actually played with his dad in Los Angeles.
Wow.
I was there for half the season, and we played. And what a great teammate. Obviously, he was a knuckleball pitcher at that point, and what good stuff. People don't realize he was a hard throwing knuckleballer, so he could zip it in there 89-90, a fastball, and he had a great curveball. So he had some other weapons other than the knuckleball.
Chatting with Chip Hale, head coach of your Arizona Wildcats. It's the Wildcats at Oregon State Beavers this weekend, a 3-game series. All 3 games will be at 6 o'clock. Chip, I imagine there'll be some senior ceremonies this year. Let's just talk about some of those seniors and what they've meant to you in the 3 years that you've been with this program.
Yeah, well, they're all very special. I mean, it's hard for me to identify our seniors because with COVID,
right?
We graduated guys last year. I think Cam Walty and Trevor Long were the only 2 that walked this year at the graduation. So they've all been special, and for the ones who were here under Coach Johnson and stayed the course, we're hoping to get them a trip back to Omaha here before they're done. But they've all been great. I mean, whether they're pitchers or hitters, they're huge in this program. And even the guys who left. Listen, there's some guys who played here and decided to go other places. They're always Wildcats in our hearts, and they helped us win games somewhere down the road. But this is a special group. And let's make it a real special group and get to Omaha.
Yeah, and and they've been some guys that have had to accept some roles. I mean, you look at Anthony Suzak, a guy who started here in the past. Dawson Netz was a guy that I think many of us thought might be a frontline starter at some point for this team. Braden Zastro started games for you last year. They've had to accept some different roles this year, and in particular for Anthony, who we got a chance to talk to as well this week. How have you liked the way that he has accepted his situation and now been able to kind of begin to flourish for you at the back end of that bullpen?
It's been really good. Now, this is a kid who's been coached hard his whole life. His dad, his uncle, obviously he comes from a great bloodline of baseball. And so he's always realized where he's been at, and he's always been cherished the opportunity to pitch. When he was unsuccessful this year as a starter, he didn't, woe is me and complain and I'm not getting an opportunity. He just kept working as hard as he could. And Kevin and John DeRoyan, our player development coach, they started working with different grips and different things. And we said, you know what? He's pitched well in spurts. Let's see if he can go 1 or 2 innings and be a reliever. And then all of a sudden, after 3 or 4 hours, like, hey, this guy can close for us. So he accepted it. He's had a good attitude. He's ready. He's got another year of eligibility. If he doesn't get drafted, he's ready to come back and help us next year. But we're hoping that, again, we get deep into this playoff run where a lot of scouts see him, and I think they're going to have a different opinion of him than they did as a starter.
When you look at, obviously, the possibility of hosting, do you think you're there yet? Do you have an idea of what you need to do this week, tournament, to get to that point where Arizona can host a regional?
Yeah, I think we need to win this series against Oregon State, and we need to make a good run in our conference tournament. Now, do we need to win it? I don't know. But I think if we can win this weekend and win some games in the conference tournament, we have a legitimate chance, just as Oregon State should. I think the 2 Pac-12 teams at the top of the heap, and Oregon also should deserve a look. So we'll see. It's always been a strange way they do that, and wherever we get to go, hopefully it's here in Tucson and with our home fans, and especially for the first round. But wherever we have to go, we'll be ready to play.
We all know your lineage here, Chip, obviously, as a player. We've been out there for some of the games doing our show out there. And I tell you, every game I'm out there, I see Jerry Stitt walk through that doors to watch your team play. How close a relationship do you have with Coach Stitt, and kind of what are the conversations you have with him about coaching at this level?
Very, very close. Not only obviously a great hitting coach for me, but a great mentor as a coach. And yeah, we lean on him a lot. Our whole staff does. And he's very positive, but honest. When there's things going on, we're not playing well, he's not afraid to come and give us some advice. So, and we need maybe a kick in the butt or a pat on the back. He'll give it to us. So, no, he's been fantastic, and he's become a huge fundraiser for us. We're building our pitching lab, and we're obviously always needing money to finish things and pay things off, and put Coach Wing's name on there and do some special stuff. And he's been raising a bunch of money for us, so he's been fantastic.
All right, real quick, what goes in a pitching lab? I want to know that.
Well, we'll have all sorts of cameras and a force plate mound, so we can figure out. You'd have to probably have my pitching coaches on here to fully explain what the true things are. But it's going to be pretty cool, and we'll be able to get our pitchers better, and hopefully a huge recruiting tool for us.
All right, well, Chip, hey, best of luck this weekend. Let's close this out and move on to Scottsdale and do some damage there.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
That was the Wildcat Radio Replay with the best of the best from 1290. It's brought to you by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
All right, that is Chip Hale, the head coach of your Arizona Wildcats, in his third season here, trying to become and will become the first coach in a long time to go to the NCAA tournament in his first 3 seasons. Jay Johnson did not do that. Don't believe Andy Lopez did that either. You have to go all the way back, go a long ways to find a coach that took 3 straight teams to begin a career to the NCAA tournament, and Chip Hale is going to do that here in 2024, along with his first 3 seasons in 23 and 22. All right, we're going to hear from Anthony Susak coming up in the next hour, the outstanding relief pitcher for your Arizona Wildcats. We'll hear from him. We've got you till 5:50 when Brian Jeffries will take over here. The doors are open. I think about a half hour earlier than normal here at Hi Corbett Field. Normally they open about 5, but there was such a long line here that they've opened up the doors at 4:30, and the folks are starting to file in for this game here tonight. Cricket getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. With collisions that are reported at La Cañada and River Road, Cortero and Thornydale, Pima and Wilmot also clearing. Traffic signal light pole installation at Silverbell and Cortero through the 22nd. 62 the low, 94 and sunny tomorrow, and 89 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by ChumbaCasino.com. Introducing Chumba Casino, the thrilling online social casino that's free to play. Head on over to ChumbaCasino.com now to join in on the fun. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Looking for a great deal on a new Blazer EV? Everyone qualifies for $7,500 off MSRP. Costco owners get $1,000 off MSRP. Current EV owners receive $2,500 off MSRP, and that's just the start.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Being stuck in a bad timeshare can be overwhelming, straining your finances, your health, and even family relationships. I know because everyday families call us for help, stressed to no end because of a timeshare they were misled into buying and can't even use. Some people even get second jobs or come out of retirement just to pay for fees that go on forever. I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind, to help good folks out of bad timeshare deals. And our mission is working. To date, we've helped over 40,000 families achieve timeshare freedom. Give me a call. I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free exit info kit. 800-626-7171. 800-626-7171. 800-626-7171.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want? Can we sleep cooler? Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. J.D. Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store. And now save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. For J.D. Power 2023 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-927-1086. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-927-1086. 800-927-1086. 800-927-1086.
Searching HVAC.
About 30 seconds.
How can we help?
Wow, nobody local? Huh.
Wait, what? We are an HVAC company literally in your neighborhood. Why is she not seeing us?
Just all the big chains. Well, it is what it is.
What in the... Can you not see us?
Nope, they can't see you. Because you're buried deep in the list of local HVAC providers. You are invisible online. Introducing Cumulus Boost. Get a boost, get found, get on the map. Learn more at cumulusboost.com.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. The doors are open here at Hi Corbett Field. The early rush crowd has all gotten into the stadium for tonight's Clinch Night opener with the Arizona Wildcats and the Oregon State Beavers. One win for the Wildcats. That's all they need this weekend. You heard Chip Hale saying in that interview that we did with him that the goal is to win 2 of 3, but they don't need to win 2 of 3. They only need to win 1 this weekend to clinch. But obviously, as you heard Brian Jeffries say, if the Wildcats have any intention on hosting the NCAA tournament here to begin in regionals, they probably are going to need to win all 3 of these games this weekend. So we'll have to just kind of wait and see how it all plays out. But first pitch coming up at 6:05, and we've got you for about another hour. Brian Jeffries will take the controls at about 5:50 tonight to get you set for Arizona baseball. Our guy, J-Dub's our guy, Doug, is here tonight in the crowd. He is ready to go for his Wildcats and having a chance to win Pac-12 Conference Championship.
Is he dressed up?
He wasn't like crazy dressed up. I don't know. He was kind of dialed down. I don't know if he's like going to get inside and then kind of do this makeup and maybe put his face on. I think that might be the plan, but we'll have to wait and see.
Well, I know he'll bring the passion.
Yes, he will. No one brings the passion quite like Doug.
You know, back to Brian really quick. I think there's some shenanigans going on, DK, because there are currently 7 SEC teams in the top 10.
Oh, gosh.
Including the top 5. So RPI-wise, Kentucky, Texas A&M, Georgia, Arkansas, North Carolina, those are the top 5. So North Carolina, obviously ACC. Tennessee is number 6. So 5 of the top 6 RPI baseball teams in America right now are all from the SEC. Yeah. And some of those teams have losing records. So 8-9 Georgia is ranked 3rd. 8-9 in conference, 3rd in the country.
Yeah, that's again we talked about that a few weeks ago as we see some a little bit of orange is also trickling in with the red here this weekend. That'll be a nice contrast, the red with the orange. But yeah, I mean, a couple weeks ago, the top 4 teams in the country were all from the SEC. So it's a conference that's very dominant, for sure.
Top 9, DK, are all SEC or ACC. The top 9. So that's 5 SEC and 4 ACC. We got a special caller on the line. You want to go there really quick?
Absolutely.
All right, here he is. Caller, what are you calling about?
Hey, bear down. This is Doug. I'm at Hi Corbett Field, looking to win the Pac-12 championship tonight. How's it going, guys?
Speak of the devil, we were just talking about your ears must have been burning, Doug, because I was just letting J-Dub and the folks know that you were in the building tonight. And J-Dub had asked me if your face was painted. I said, well, I think he's going a little bit incognito tonight, but maybe once he gets inside, he'll put on his Superman outfit.
So I want you to understand this. I've been coming to Hi Corbett Field since I was a kid. 70s, 80s or whatever. Going to the Toros games. I was here for the 91 championship for the Toros, going to U of A games since it came here. And I can't tell you how surreal it is that I'm walking around under the bleachers and I hear you broadcast on the radio talking about me at the game. I'm like, wow. So I thought because you're being piped in right now under the bleachers.
Oh,
hold
man.
on, here's Chip Hale. Chip Hale, I'm on the radio with David Kelly. How you doing? How you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you, buddy. Good luck tonight. Bear down.
Man, you're that close to you're right. You're shaking hands with Chip Hale before the game.
Oh my God, it's crazy! Wow, this is a memorable afternoon. But anyway, yeah, I'm not painted up in my usual basketball outfit. I only do that for basketball. But people who were here at the game, they might see me walking around with red and blue eye black under my eyes.
Oh, there you go.
So if you spot me and if you want to say hello, I'd love to meet some other fellow fans. If anyone's a Twitter follow out there and knows me as Doug in Tucson, I'd love to meet. In fact, I just met Alex Rabb, who is the guy that makes the videos.
Yeah.
Everyone knows about his viral videos, and he is the nicest young man, college kid. He just flagged me down. He's like, hey. And so we took a selfie. We're going to post that here pretty soon.
Nice.
But yeah, a lot of good energy at the stadium tonight. At the ballpark today.
It's going to be fun for sure. Doug, you obviously have been watching this team. What do you like about this baseball team?
Well, I just love that we've overcome low expectations, and I guess historically you've seen that with a lot of our sports through the years. Maybe softball is the only exception I can think of where we've had high expectations and lived up to them a lot of those years. But man, when this season started and we came out of the gate kind of not playing our best ball, going 500. But yeah, it just seems like the arms have really picked up, the confidence in the pitching staff, and then just the bats. Guys are just, especially the extra base hits. That's what's really stood out to me lately. All the doubles, triples, home runs has just been awesome the past few homestands. And when you start sweeping series in any conference, that's really doing something. We've definitely had our share.
Yeah, you talk about a guy like Mason White, what he's done, leads the team and tied for second in the Pac-12 with both home runs. He's got 17, RBIs 60. His .618 slugging percentage is 7th in the Pac-12 through 50 games, hitting .309 this season. And again, what I like about it is that some of the best hitters on this team right now are kids that we've watched come up right here in Tucson. When you talk about Mason White out of South Point Catholic and Andrew Kane, who we've been raving about the last 3 weeks since he started getting into the lineup out of Ironwood Ridge High School. Nothing better than seeing the local kids power in the local college.
Yeah, credit to Chip for that. We're a national program. We can recruit anywhere, but when you've got talent right here, why not? Why not give them a shot? And we've had a long line of those guys. I'll just mention that I think some of you guys know I'm a former teacher, and one of my former students was Seth Mejia Spreen.
Oh, yeah.
Cienega had a great career there, and then he wound up being a key starter on that 2012 national championship team. So, we've got a long line of great local kids that have made it good here, and some of them have gone on to make a career out of it too, which is awesome.
Well, Seth Mejia Spreen, you mentioned one of that core group of juniors in 2012, and one of three that made it to the big leagues. Him and Alex Mejia, the shortstop, Robert Refsnyder, who's still the only member of that team that's still floating around the big leagues with the Boston Red Sox. That was a special group for sure, that 2012
very special
group.
Yeah,
that was the first group that played here. That was the first group that played here at Hi Corbett Field after the move.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. I'm a very nostalgic type of fan, and so I miss games at Sunset. There were many afternoons I'd bring my homework as a U of A student and sit out in the bleachers and watch an afternoon game or into the evening and sit in the hot corner and rib the visitors and stuff like that. But yeah, this is a great baseball city, and especially when there's a lot to play for like there is tonight. If there are people out there that are kind of on the fence about what to do tonight or whether to show up tonight, this is really going to be an event. Like, we don't get too many of these throughout the course of a year where it's the place to be. And Hi Corbett Field is the place to be tonight, tomorrow, and Saturday. So, and the tickets are so affordable. It's general admission, so just show up and have a great time out here. Support the Cats. It's gonna be loud, and we're just all gonna bear down.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I think it would.
To me,
say again,
it's so
Doug.
surreal to me that as I'm talking to you, I'm hearing my voice. And I'm preaching. So bizarre. Bear down, everyone who's listening. Bear down. Yeah.
And what makes it even better is you got, again, as we've talked about, Oregon State pitcher Aiden May, a former Wildcat, a Pima Aztec, decided that – and it's funny, man. It's funny how we've seen it now a lot in this transfer portal era. Kids go to other places looking for better glory, and the team that they leave happens to be the team to beat. you know, the Wildcats, Aiden May leaves to go to Oregon State, but Arizona now is the team at the top of the Pac-12 conference.
Yeah, I mean, it's like those guys in football that went to USC and then they struggled, and U of A had one of its best seasons ever. So the grass isn't always greener, you know. I mean, we're not going to hate on Aiden May tonight, but sure would be nice to clinch the championship when he's taking the mound and maybe knock him out of the game early if we can. I mean, much respect. He's a great pitcher, but a lot of our players have experience looking at him, so maybe that'll help us out.
Got you real quick, Doug. Did you guys hear about the NIL situation in Washington last couple days?
No.
I have not. So
they picked up a guy. His name is Great Osabor is his name. And he got $2 million.
Is this football or what sport?
No, basketball. $2 million to leave from Utah State, so a smaller school, to a bigger school. And this is the trend. And now a lot of people, because I know Doug's a huge basketball fan. Well, we got you. This NIL, $2 million, and people are talking now about as if you're a high-ranked guy and you have an opportunity to go to a smaller school and you don't have the giant offers out there right from the start. If you put up 20 points, 10 rebounds a game, that's the landscape we're looking at, is that these bigger schools, getting the smaller school guys to transfer over there for NIL reasons. Obviously that wasn't the situation with May, obviously, with the giant NIL money, but it's a new world we're living in, guys, a new world.
Well, I mean, it stinks for the smaller schools, but let me say, as a big college sports fan and not a big pro sports fan, I kind of glaze over when you guys talk about the pro teams in Phoenix, but as a big college sports fan, we've kind of been victimized by the big league, the NBA and Major League Baseball and all the other, professional baseball leagues, because they take our players early. And so the one thing I can say as a positive about this whole thing is that now college programs, sports fans, college teams can actually enjoy seeing their guys stick around a little longer because there's more of an incentive for them to stay.
Agreed,
they're getting paid.
And not only that, but there's a lot of guys, look at Zach Edey, 2-time player of the year. He doesn't have a place, right, at the next level, really. And so there's an opportunity for guys who are tweeners, who are great college athletes that we get to watch play for their schools and for their communities, show out when maybe there isn't an opportunity right away for them at the next level, versus the guys who are, have all the measurables and check all the boxes and are 18, 19, and maybe we can teach this person how to play the sport. Those guys, may still be gone as soon as they can, at least for basketball. Baseball and football, obviously, you got to stick around for a few years. But yeah, I mean, it's a situation now, like you said, there are a lot of college players that we'll get to see, much like we watched back in the days when we first started, 70s, 80s, 90s,
Right.
Having people and groups stay together for 2-3 years, it's just beneficial for everybody. Those are the best teams, are the teams that get to know each other and know each other's tendencies.
Yeah, you want that stability in your program, and all the sports for sure.
And guys, Arizona baseball great Wes Clements just stopped by and said hello. He's going to be calling the game tonight on the Pac-12 network. So we had a great chat with Wes back in the fall, man. I tried to get him to come on, but he had to get upstairs to get ready for the broadcast. So we'll maybe try to see if we can track Wes down for tomorrow's show and get him on, get some thoughts on tonight's game, and then preview for tomorrow. But definitely an Arizona Wildcat great, and Wes Clements, good to see him back here tonight on the broadcast as well. Doug, enjoy the game tonight.
Yeah, thank you, man. Yeah, thank you so much. This is a lot of fun, and glad to see you guys broadcasting from it. And once again, for the Tucson community, come on out and let's go crazy tonight and bring this championship home. Let's just get it done the first night,
Yeah, let's do that. Well, we got to get it done the first night because I got to go to Los Angeles tomorrow night. So this is the only game I can go to. I want to see them clinch it here tonight. So.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right.
Bear down, Arizona Baseball.
There we go. Doug from Tucson joining us on the show for the first time since basketball season. I mean, it seems like basketball season was so long ago. What are we, about 2 months out now, J-Dub, about from
I don't want to think about it.
I think it was March. I think it was
Ask
right
me again
around
in
March
2 months.
17th or sometime around there.
Yeah,
that it ended.
It's been a minute, and like Doug said, he's not super into the local professional teams in Arizona, so
Right.
I think he's a little hibernation. Well, I'm sure obviously he's been going to baseball games. Still got baseball going on. In fact, baseball tonight, DK. So Doug is involved. It just, we took a little time off as well, but I'm sure we'll hear from Doug over the summer as it pertains to how the football team's looking moving into next season and obviously the big change to the Big 12.
All right, we still got an hour to go of the show here today. We're going to hear from Anthony Susak Tonko coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. Also, we're going to try to work in that interview that we had Jim Rome with Tommy Lloyd. We'll let you hear that as well in case you missed it. Tommy Lloyd going national with Jim Rome yesterday, talking all things Arizona basketball as well as the Beastie Boys. What a great rap group, historic Hall of Fame rap group. We'll hear Tommy's thoughts on that as well. It's DK on the Sports Tip coming to you live from Hi Corbett Field. The gates are open for Game 1 of the weekend series between the Wildcats and the Beavers. Clinch night. An Arizona win gives them the Pac-12 Conference Championship. I believe I just read that this will be number 9. Conference Championship number, actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 9. The Wildcats won in 63, 66, 74, 89, 92, and their Pac-12 years, 12 and 21. So this would be the 9th regular season conference championship if the Wildcats get it done this weekend. Cricket is with us as well. J-Dub, I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Busy travel on southbound La Cholla at Ajo, more slowing at Mission and Ajo. Collisions at La Cañada and River Road, Cortero and Thornydale. Also Pima and Wilmot. Overnight low 62, 94, sunny tomorrow and 89 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by ChumbaCasino.com. Welcome to the ultimate playground for online social casino enthusiasts. Get ready to live the Chumba life and play over 100 online casino-style games for free at ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
This is Jim Rome with your Rome Report. So I know that some of you are hungover and chugging your Pedialyte right about now, celebrating the NFL schedule release. I mean, I can't believe we even have to work today. Never mind the Monday after the Super Bowl. This is the day we really need off. I mean, this is a big deal now. This thing's turned into a complete circus. I mean, did you see the way this thing was handled on social? Essentially, every single team ran out a Hollywood-level production yesterday on social to announce their schedule. The X platform was like the football film festival yesterday. Josh Allen started the Bills video. The Patriots got Edelman and Gronk. Both Harbaugh bros were in the Ravens video. In fact, I have no idea why this thing is such a circus anyway, but it is. And good on you if you had that much fun with it. Later on, I will let you know what my biggest takeaways were from schedule release day. But no, I did not throw a party, nor did I attend one.
Retired or retiring soon? How much money do you need to live comfortably? Retirement Planners of America is here for you. Would you like to have financial peace of mind? Here's how. Step 1. Find out the amount of money you'll need to retire. Step 2. Have a plan to get there. Step 3. Make sure that plan can take advantage of market gains but protect you from market losses. Discover how to do all 3 with a free consultation at 800-508-6108. That's 800-508-6108.
All investments involve risk, including losses. Past performance does not guarantee future results.
O'Reilly.
You need parts? O'Reilly Auto Parts has parts. Need them fast? We've got fast. No matter what you need, we have thousands of professional parts people doing their part to make sure you have it.
product availability. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
It's time to treat your home and your feet to new carpet. The Home Depot has an offer for you. For a limited time, you can get 10% off select Home Decorators Collection carpet, and installation by licensed providers is included. Offer valid May 9th through May 26, 2024. Receive 10% off select Home Decorators Collection special order carpet and installation. Installation included with qualifying purchase. Exclusions apply. For licenses, see homedepot.com/license numbers.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Experiencing the Sonoran Desert's natural wonders comes easy at Rock & Kay. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. 6 model homes are now open to tour at Del Webb at Rock & Kay. Here, life is about more than just beautiful homes. It's about the experiences waiting outside your front door at this new 55-plus active adult neighborhood. LiveRockandK.com. Designed by nature, built for you. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-927-1086. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-927-1086. 800-927-1086. 800-927-1086.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. We are the sports station that Tucson turns to for all the latest news when it comes to Arizona men's basketball, along with all the play-by-play action. We are Wildcats Radio 1290. Live from the CNWT.
From the what? Central Northwest Tucson. Duh.
It's DK on the Sports Tip with your host, David Kelly.
Radio. Just when I thought I was out, they drug me back in.
Featuring J.W. Madden.
Don't tell me about flip-flops, man. I'm a native.
And Cricket, getting you home with traffic and weather.
Camp on Melt Lemon, not in the left lane on the freeway.
Here we go! And now, a man who has not one, but 3 first names, David Scott Kelly.
Coming to you live from Hi Corbett Field here in Tucson. Baseball night in Arizona. It's the Wildcats and the Oregon State Beavers. Game 1 of a 3-game series. The final 3 games of Pac-12 regular season baseball ever here in Tucson. And I don't know if I'm necessarily that upset about it. I mean, I'm not feeling maybe as nostalgic as I probably should be, just because there's a whole lot more to play for after this, and I don't know. It's just kind of weird. Maybe it's because we're at the end of the year and we've been kind of nostalgic about this whole thing all year long. It seems like that it just has gotten to the point where I haven't. You know, it's funny, J-Dub. I haven't done it yet, but I'm probably going to do it on Monday. But next week I'll probably officially reach out to the Big 12 and introduce ourselves to them and say, make sure we're on all your emails and everything, and let us know what's going on, because it's that time. It's that time for us to begin looking ahead to the Big 12 era, which is just a month and a half now around the corner.
I mean, I look at it like this. This is obviously emotional and it's nostalgic because it's the final ever baseball series in Tucson for the Pac-12 ever. And that being said, DK, this is like the slowest moving train wreck of all time, right? I mean, we talked about them not getting a media deal together. How long ago that was going on for 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
And when it all fell through, I mean, that was 18 months ago or something like that. So I'm all talked out about it. I'm really looking forward to the first maybe road game in the Big 12, whatever the falls, maybe football, because I think then obviously we've got a lot of prep work to do here behind the scenes to change the station over from a Pac-12 station to a Big 12 station. But as far as nostalgia for this final season is concerned, I think I'm all nostalgic out personally.
Yeah, absolutely. That's kind of the way it is for me as well. 520-848-1290 is the number if you want to get in on the program. We're going to tomorrow talk to Cam Walty. Cam Walty is the number 3 starter in the rotation for Chip Hale. He pitches mostly on Sundays, but because this series has been moved up a day, he will pitch on Saturday here this weekend. So we'll talk to Cam Walty. He's a transfer to this program from Nevada. He played his first 2 years at Nevada, but now a deep part of this program as he goes through his final stages as a Wildcat. We'll get his thoughts on this team, this roster, and what the Wildcats are trying to accomplish as they begin to take a look at the postseason. We had a chance this week also to hear from Anthony Susak, and what an incredible job Anthony Susak has been doing at the back end of the bullpen. Let's hear some of that from the voice of the Wildcats, Brian Jeffries.
Right-hander set out of the line, and here's the 2-2 to the plate. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That is the inning. That is the ball game, and the Wildcats beat the Sun Devils here at Phoenix Muni as Tonko Susak strikes out the top hitter in the Pac-12, Keenan Vu, to end it in the bottom of the 9th inning.
Now, you heard me call him Anthony. You heard Brian there call him Tonko, which is his nickname, Tonko Susak. He is a cousin of Daniel Susak, who was the fine catcher for a number of years here for the Arizona Wildcats, drafted in the first round and now playing in the Oakland A's system. And he is also a cousin of Andrew Susak, who played for the Oregon State Beavers and spent 6 seasons in the big leagues. And Anthony this week talked about his history growing up watching this Oregon State program and the consistency that they've had this century.
I mean, it's a good program. It's a storied program. You know, I grew up watching them, grew up going to Corvallis, and watched a lot of games there, watched my cousin there. But as far as this weekend goes, we're still playing baseball, still playing the same game I played my whole entire life, and just focused on our team and our program and getting as far as we can in our season.
Does it surprise you at all that they've been able to have the success that they've had with the weather and the geography that are kind of working against them?
I mean, like I said, they're a good program, you know, and you know, they've impressed a lot of people. You know, it's been the story of their whole program. That's awesome, and tip my cap to them.
Have you or any of the other guys on the team kept in touch with Aiden?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I talked to him. I mean, I've talked to him a good amount during the fall and spring. You know, I still wish he was here. He'd be a good guy to have on this team. But talked to him a lot when he hurt his arm during the year, and kind of keeping updated with him. You know, obviously, I'm still rooting for Aiden. Still a good friend of mine, and want him to stay healthy during the season. And I'm glad he's back, and it seems like he's doing well, and that's awesome. And
just not on Thursday night.
Hey, I can't wait to face him. It'll be really fun.
How do you kind of separate the idea of this is a huge series and it's just another series?
I mean, it's like I said, it's the same game we played our whole entire lives, right? You don't let the outside factors kind of play a factor here. You know, it's still 90-foot bases, 6'6" 6-inch mound, so it's 5-inch or a 5-ounce ball. You know, still the same exact game we played our whole entire lives. So you just try not to let all the outside factors. In the end, they're just outside factors, man. It's still the same exact game we've been playing, and we just need to play our brand of baseball and just focus one pitch at a time and win every pitch.
Anthony, how do you assess this year for yourself in terms of your role? I mean, much different than we've seen you in the past as a starter, and now kind of working in the bullpen, and now having to be able to emerge in the back end as a guy that can be depended on in high-leverage situations.
I mean, yeah, you know, the year can go, a lot of different things can happen in a year, and it's my 3rd year, and all 3 years, a lot of ups and downs, a lot of different things. So you never know where it's going to take you. But in the end, I'm a competitive guy. I want to get on the mound. I want to do whatever I can to help our team win. And whatever position that may be, I'm willing to do it, whether it's as a starter, whether it's as a reliever, coming in late, coming in for plus-minus innings. It doesn't matter. I just want to get on the mound as much as possible and help my team win.
What's allowed you to kind of be so tight lately in those high leverage?
I don't know. I think I've always been a competitive guy my whole entire life. I've been working a lot on my mental skills this year, working a lot with Dr. Webb at the school and our mental performance, psych side of it, and working a lot on, hey, they're just 3 outs, man. Doesn't matter the situation, doesn't matter the inning. You still got to get 3 outs. Your job as a pitcher is to get 3 outs and get out of the inning. So same thing we got to do this weekend as a team, not let the outside factors, play here and just play our brand of baseball. Same thing I'm trying to do. I made some adjustments with Coach Vance that have helped me out a lot. But like I said, just trying to help the team win.
When Kevin approached you about changing your role, what was that conversation?
He just said, hey, it was kind of 2 times, it was in the beginning of the year after the USD outing. He said, hey, we're going to move you to the pen. I remember him talking to me a lot in the fall saying, hey, be open to being a reliever. I think this could be a good role for you. I think this could work out for you. He talked to me after the nightmare in San Diego and told me, hey, we're going to move you to the bullpen or we're going to move Walton to the rotation. And then after New Mexico State midweek, he said, hey, we're going to move you to the pen full-time now. And then he approached me before the New Mexico outing and said, hey, this is the adjustment I want you to make here. And it worked out, carried it into the next outing, and here we are now.
What was that adjustment?
Throw as hard as you can. Pretty simple. I just kind of said, hey, just go up there and everything that you have, when you throw as hard as you can, not only does it make your fastball better, it makes your slider better, everything plays off each other better, your intent is better, makes everything play up, and it's really worked out for me.
When you talk to mindsets between being a starter and moving to the pen?
Kind of a little bit of empty the tank, It's like we'd have our inner squads here, and my last inning was always just like, I knew it was my last inning. I would always say, burn the ships, give it everything you got right here, and it would always be my best inning. And Vance was always saying, hey, we got to find a way to carry that into 1 inning at a time and don't have to have this feeling of, when you go into a game and you're starting and you have to feel like you have to get established and work that first inning, learn the umpire's zone, get comfortable on the mound, figure out their lineup, worry about facing them for a second time. When you're coming into the pen, it's go in there, it's blow doors, and give them everything you got.
Chip had mentioned the first batter is one that maybe you still have maybe had some trouble with, like some of those guys have gotten on. How do you look at that first guy?
Attack him.
Yeah.
Same way I look at every single guy, every single pitch, 100% intent, and I'm just trying to attack guys. First batter, third batter, 15th batter, don't matter to me.
The ASU kid who took you out at the first batter, it looked like off the bat like it was just like a routine fly ball. How do you just shake that off?
I mean, it happens. It's baseball. I've had plenty of home runs hit off me, and plenty of balls go out of the stadium off me. It's just part of it. It's part of baseball. You just can't let that. You can't. If you drag that into the next at bat, it doesn't do you any good. The longer you dwell on it, the worse it makes it.
What is the name of that song that you play?
Dalmatio by Tutti Frutti. It's my walkout song.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a Croatian song. Dalmatio.
How do you spell that?
Dalmacijo.
Okay. Just curious.
Yeah, it's an old Croatian rock song. It's where my family's from in Croatia. It's a really popular song out there, and the soccer team I support out there, it's kind of their hype anthem.
Is that the Tutti Frutti band?
Yes, that is right.
Okay. What's the soccer team?
Hajduk Split.
Oh boy. Okay. We'll have to Google that. So, what does it feel like to finish a game and record the last out? You win the game. What is that feeling like?
I mean, it's awesome. There's lots of emotions. I got guys in the team giving me crap. I'm all psyched out and everything. But it's awesome. It's fun. Like, who doesn't want to go do that?
Sure. Why do you think, what has enabled the team to be in the position that you guys are in right now?
I mean, I think it starts all in the clubhouse. This whole entire year, we've really worked on, chemistry in the clubhouse, and that we don't want to be a good team. We want to be a great team. It's kind of something that we said in the team, that the greatest team wins. GTW is something we've said a lot, and that we just want to be great. We want to be great in everything that we do, on the field, off the field, in the classroom. How you do anything is how you do everything. We want to do everything great. So it kind of starts there, and it all translates on the field.
Any specific examples or things that you've done as a team to promote that chemistry?
Yeah, kind of working on, getting the hitters together with the pitchers, and just kind of everything as a team. You win and lose as a team, and that you got to truly believe that even if there's an error that costs the run, that beats us, that forces us to lose the game or whatsoever, or a guy hits a walk-off to win the game. It's a team win and it's a team loss, and that you have to truly believe that and buy into that. And like I said, the whole team is bought in. Everybody supports each other. Everybody's behind each other. And, one guy maybe has a rough outing, the next guy's there to pick him up, and vice versa. So
Chip said that there might have been some tension between hitters and pitchers the last couple of years. I think he used the word frustration. Did you sense that?
Oh, 100%. It's been a long-lasting thing here. As you guys know, you guys have been covering the team for a while. Arizona's known for hitting. This program's known for hitting. And this stadium can be a really tough place to pitch in. We've had some high team ERAs in the past, and our offense, we've had some unreal offenses in the past years. So I think there's always been this little tension between, that the pitchers were blowing games and stuff. And, I'll be honest, my 2 years here, the pitching has struggled, and I know you guys have seen that. You guys have covered that, and there's no way around it. But in the end, you have to come together and just realize that it is a team sport, and that you win and lose as a team, and that it's not on any individual or any side of the game. It's not on the offense, it's not on the defense, it's not on the pitching, it's on the whole entire team. So changing that this year has really, really helped us.
How much, when that preseason ranking of Ninth came out, were there whispers inside the clubhouse that, they don't know. They don't know who we really are?
Yeah, I talked to you guys in the beginning of the season. I said that a lot. Hey, we're not the ninth best team in this conference. We're going to be up there. We're going to pitch. We're going to hit. We've been in inter squads. We've seen it all. It's my third year here, and this is the winningest team I've ever been around. And I sensed that from the beginning. I sensed that from the fall, and when that came out, we all kind of laughed, and we knew that we had a really good chance to be really good this year, and just got to finish the job.
All right, that is Anthony Susak, the reliever for your Arizona Wildcats. We'll talk a bit more about Anthony and some of the things he has done. Tommy Lloyd also still to get to you before we get out of here today. But Cricket wants to make sure you get to the ballpark or to happy hour or to wherever you are headed on this weekend safely. She's got your traffic and weather every 20 minutes on the fives.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. With collisions reported, Valencia and Midvale, Midvale Park and Valencia, Pima and Wilmot and Pima, that was reported earlier. And also do expect some slowdowns, a little bit of busy traffic this afternoon westbound on Ahaway at Mission. And for your weather, going to see clear skies overnight, 62, the low 94, tomorrow at 89 now. And I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by ExpressPros.com. Use the experts on hiring for professional roles. Visit SRGExpress.com to connect with professionals in accounting, IT, and engineering. The specialized recruiting group takes an individual approach, placing people in contract and full-time roles. SRGExpress.com.
Here's a sample of what people say when they find out they can save up to 40% on their favorite tobacco products at Tobacco Barn.
Wow, that's fabulous.
That's just great.
Woo! All right, yeah. That's incredible.
That's crazy.
Actually, it's not crazy, it's smart. Why would you buy tobacco products somewhere other than Tobacco Barn and pay up to 40% more? You can save up to 40% at Tobacco Barn. It'd be crazy not to. You also pay no city or state sales tax at Tobacco Barn because they're on the reservation. And you can save up to $3 with a coupon at TobaccoBarnTucson.com.
Could you repeat that, sir?
At Tobacco Barn, save up to 40%. Pay no city sales tax. Pay no state sales tax. And save up to $3 with a coupon at TobaccoBarnTucson.com. If you shop somewhere else, people might say you don't know whether to scratch your watch or wind your butt.
Funny guy.
Tobacco Barn, Nogales Highway, just south of Valencia. Check TobaccoBarnTucson.com.
Thank you for calling Alaskan AC. Now. Thank you for calling Alaskan AC. Now. Hey guys, what are you... Gotta take this. Thank you for calling Alaskan AC. Now. Thank you for... Right. You don't say. Now. Hold it. What's with all the nows? People want to know the best time for an Alaskification. And you're telling them... Hello? Now. Well, there's no bad time for Alaskification. But the best time is now. Pretty soon, Arizona temps are going to put a strain on your AC.
Now is really the best time.
You're not telling people about all the money they save? Now. Or how Alaskan AC will make their AC last longer?
Now.
Or the big 1-year guarantee that their AC will not break down? Thank you for calling Alaskan AC. Well, Ron wants to tell you a bunch of stuff. I know. That's kind of what I told him. Okay, thanks. Oh, by the way, now. The best time for Alaskification is
now.
Schedule at AlaskanAC.com. Now.
Ah, the feeling you get when gas prices go up again. Now you can lose that feeling forever because O'Reilly Chevrolet lets you say goodbye to gas stations and hello to savings with their state-of-the-art Blazer EVs. If you're looking for a vehicle with zero emissions and a dealership with zero hassle, look no further than O'Reilly.com. Call 747-8000 or test drive one today on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Charge into the future at O'Reilly Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Ask Sherwin-Williams and get 30% off Duration and Super Deck products May 17th through the 20th. That means 30% off our most popular color family, blue. Psychologists have found it to be soothing and relaxing, which makes it especially great for bedrooms and bathrooms. And of course, get 30% off all of our other colors. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
The Home Depot has Memorial Day savings up to $500 off select laundry appliances from top brands like Samsung. Wash and dry in one cycle with the Samsung Ultra Capacity All-in-One Washer-Dryer Combo from the Home Depot. Then, enjoy your summer while your laundry takes care of itself. Right now, get Memorial Day savings up to $500 off select laundry appliances at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Pricing valid May 16th through June 5th. U.S. only. See store online for details.
This just in, Goodfellas AC is matching up to $2,000 on federal tax credit.
Whoa, seriously? This is unbelievable. I gotta call Floyd at Goodfellas.
Hello, Goodfellas. Floyd speaking.
Is it true about the $2,000?
It sure is. Homeowners like you may qualify for a 30% federal tax credit up to $2,000 on qualifying heat pumps. And Goodfellas will match the tax credit dollar for dollar up to $2,000. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas.
Westwood One presents Today in Women's Sports, sponsored by Allstate. The Las Vegas Aces are atop the WNBA world. Last week, the two-time defending champs visited the White House to celebrate their 2023 title run. Then on Tuesday, they started their new season with an 89-80 home victory over the Phoenix Mercury. Two-time league MVP Asia Wilson starred for the Aces with 30 points and 13 rebounds in the win. Las Vegas is led by their head coach and basketball Hall of Famer Becky Hammon, who saw her team raise another banner on Tuesday night. And now her focus is on getting the next one.
Hopefully, the new players get to see and feel a taste of that, and it makes them hungry to have that moment, to get some hardware. So we all got to stay motivated. We all have to stay thirsty and know that we have a lot of work ahead of us. But it was definitely a special moment tonight.
With Today in Women's Sports, I'm Amber Theo Harris on Westwood One.
Some people just know the more you protect, the more you save with Allstate, because they know insurance math. Like if you protect your home and auto, Allstate can save you up to 25%. So it's like losing money if you don't bundle. Save more when you protect more. Bundle home and auto with Allstate today.
Bundled savings vary by state and are not available in every state. Saving up to 25% is the countrywide average of the maximum available savings off the home policy. Allstate Vehicle and Property Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. Like 2 lines of talk, text, and data for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings versus Verizon and AT&T. Experience all this and more on America's largest 5G network. At T-Mobile, customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for just $30 a line. Switch today.
With AutoPay using debit or bank account plus taxes and fees, 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. Fans still filing in here at Hi Corbett Field for this 6:05 first pitch, Arizona and Oregon State. We've been talking a lot of baseball today, but how about basketball. How about Tommy Lloyd, who was on the Jim Rome show earlier this week, and actually it was a pretty funny conversation. I don't think anybody knew that Tommy was going on the national talk show, but he did, and a very interesting conversation with the national talk show host Jim Rome that covered not just basketball, but Tommy's love of a certain rap group. Let's hear some of that conversation.
As promised, we're joined right now by the head basketball coach at Arizona. He's won 2 Pac-12 tournament titles and a pair of conference regular season titles, all in the last 3 years. He's reached the Sweet 16 in 2 of his 3 seasons there. He is the head coach of the 2024 USA Basketball U18 national team, which is going to compete next month at the FIBA U18 AmeriCup. He appears today courtesy of the Box Out Colon Cancer Campaign, which is raising awareness for colorectal cancer. We are joined right now by Tommy Lloyd. Tommy, it's always good to have you on the show. How are you?
Tim, I'm great. I appreciate you having me, and appreciate my friends at Exact Sciences, and boxoutcoloncancer.com for connecting us.
Absolutely, and I'm going to ask you about that momentarily. Let me first ask you, Tommy, you went directly from another run to the Sweet 16 to recruiting to navigating the transfer portal, and now you're about to begin a big summer with USA Basketball. Have you been able to enjoy any downtime at all, and what have you done to rest and recover?
Not much downtime, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm sure you're hearing college coaches tell you that our industry's really changed, and it's busier than ever, but it's also great. So I don't want to act like I'm complaining. What I did to kind of rest and relax a little bit, my pickleball game's starting to pick back up a little bit. I'm starting to get out in the mornings again, kind of get the juices flowing. But I'm fired up for, how recruiting went, this spring for our program. And I'm really fired up to, start this USA Basketball stuff next week.
I was going to ask you about recruiting and also USA Basketball, but you mentioned your pickleball game. How is your pickleball game, and who do you play with?
Well, I play with a group of guys, at the club right next to my house, and these guys are all members of this country club, and I think they do really well, but they play 3 times a day, so I have no idea when they work. So they've gotten pretty good. I go out, most mornings and play with them, and it's been a ton of fun, and been a great outlet for me, and a great way to meet a bunch of people in Tucson, and yeah, it's an awesome game, Jim. I don't know if you're playing, but you look like you probably have pretty slow feet to me, so you're probably not playing too much. But it's a great outlet, trust me.
Listen, dude, you're right and you're wrong. I mean, I'm not playing, but my footwork is impeccable, man. I should be playing because of my footwork. And
but slow hands probably too. You know what I mean? So.
No, I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean at all, man. I got a great pair of hands. And in fact, I'm awesome. To quote the Joker, I'm a freak of nature, Tommy. I'm a freak of nature. Or at least I would be if I ever got on the pickleball court.
I actually thought you were going to quote Luka Doncic, and you were just more focused on your recovery beers.
That too, dude. Absolutely. I'll come down from the second floor for that. Tommy Lloyd joining us. Hey, Tommy, what about the roster itself for the U18 team? What is the process for assembling that roster? And then what do you anticipate the level of competition being like in that tourney?
Well, the international game's gotten really good. I think that's one thing as Americans we've got to understand. And you're seeing all these great players in the NBA now, but, they're starting out as youth players internationally. So, the margins that we maybe had before aren't there anymore. So, the competition's great. And as for the selection committee, I think right now, there's a list of like 34, 35 kids that are going to show up in Colorado Springs the middle of next week. And, we have a committee led by, Matt Painter, and a few other college coaches that do a good job of kind of whittling it down and helping me kind of select the final 12. So it's competitive. I mean, you have, some of the best players in the country coming there, and what's really cool is there's no media, there's not a lot of to-do about it, and it's just dudes getting in a gym and competing. And for a lot of these kids, they've never, struggled or never not made a team before. So it's really interesting. I mean, you're probably going to cut some kids that are going to end up being lottery picks in a year or two. And, It's kind of a fascinating process, to be honest with you.
Good problem to have. Tommy Lloyd joining us. In terms of process, it seems to me roster composition is virtually year-round right now in college hoops, in part of what you talked about. Like, take Caleb Love. He transfers to your team last season from North Carolina. He was named the Pac-12 Player of the Year. He then submits his name for the NBA draft, but he does have until May 29th to withdraw that if he wants. What have your conversations been like with him as he decides what he wants to do?
Well, first off, Caleb's an awesome dude, and I'm so lucky to have coached him and to continue to have a relationship with him. I told Caleb I wanted him to be all in on this NBA process. Caleb has been a lightning rod, and in my opinion, he's been so unfairly scrutinized. And I get you might not like a shot somebody takes or their shot selection or whatever, but it should never be an indictment on someone's character. I mean, this is a great young man. So, I'm letting him, I'm giving him some rope. I'm actually going to go out to Chicago tomorrow and connect with them because I'm going to be out recruiting, for the next few days. And, if Caleb decides to come back here, we're going to welcome with open arms and do everything we can to help him take the next steps. If he decides to go pro, I'm going to do whatever I can to help him, and I'm going to be his biggest cheerleader. So, what's really crazy is, he's going in his 5th year. So I think the one thing in college sports that people have kind of forgotten about a little bit is the impact of COVID. And this is going to be the last class where guys are going to actually get 5 years to play. Kind of starting next year, it might go back to kind of a model where we're similar where, younger players are having more of an impact. But for now, there's all these 23-year-old, 24-year-olds that are still in the pool of players. So it's been really interesting, but that dynamic might change again next year. So in an ever-changing world of college sports, it might change a little bit again.
Right. Arizona basketball coach Tommy Lloyd joining us. Now, Tommy, this is not exactly breaking news, but for those who do not know, your passion for hoops and even pickleball may only be matched for your passion for the legendary hip-hop group, the Beastie Boys. I know that's not breaking news, but for those who don't know, when did you first become a fan, and why do you feel such a strong connection to them and their work?
Wow, and thank you for asking. So I would say probably about 4th, 5th grade. I think was it 85 when License to Ill came out? Or 87, might have been 87, License to Ill came out. And I just remember, I had the Ghetto Blaster, that we all had. You pop that, we started with tapes and we eventually moved to CDs. I used to put it up in the window in my bedroom because it was pointing out to my basketball hoop. And I would just put a Beastie Boy CD in there, and I would go out and just shoot hoops by myself for hours. And then Paul's Boutique came out, and the world kind of changed, but nobody realized it. Like how groundbreaking this album was, and it wasn't well received, but it was literally, if you haven't listened to Paul's Boutique, do yourself a favor. Get on whatever app you listen to music on, Beastie Boy, Paul's Boutique, and sit back and enjoy it because it's literally a work of art. So I just really enjoyed those guys over the years, just kind of their energy, the swag they had, and just how honestly creative they were, and just then they evolved, and you had playing their own instruments, the jazz stuff, a little bit of punk here and there. Like I just think they're second to none when it comes to just a great American story of 3 dudes from New York City getting together and kind of breaking the racial barrier, the hip hop thing, and really crossing over in a big way, and just being so genuine about it and so authentic. I mean, it's sad that MCA is not here with us anymore, that we're never going to get to see the Beastie Boys live again. So every once in a while, there's a great documentary called I Effing Shot That, where they gave these people all these cameras to kind of record one of their concerts. And then, so the movie is from the fans' perspective. So every once in a while, I'll pop that DVD in to kind of relive the good memories.
Man, so good. Like my youngest son would say, no cap, no cap. What a great tribute by you. All right, Tommy, so you've teamed up with Exact Sciences and the Blue Hat Foundation for the Box Out Colon Cancer Campaign. Exactly what are you doing, and what is your message?
Well, the message is, hey, guys like me and our age group that are, north of 45 now need to go get tested for colon cancer. I mean, they need to talk to their medical provider, figure out what they got to do to get tested. The testing is as easy as it's ever been. It's what you think. You get a box sent to your house. You take that box to the bathroom, do your business, you mail it in. It's not an invasive process. And just when you look about it, like, and I was looking for causes I wanted to associate myself with, I wanted to be authentic, and this one impacts me and my friends. Colon cancer is the number one cancer-related killer of men under the age of 50, and 90% of these cancers, this colon rectal cancer, is treatable if you find it early enough. So, I just want dudes to do themselves a solid and get themselves tested. It'll be the best few minutes, most impactful few minutes you'll do, in a month for yourself. So I'm really appreciative of these guys. And if you want more information, go to boxoutcoloncancer.com.
Important message, great explanation. Tommy Lloyd is the head coach at Arizona, also the head coach of the 2024 USA Basketball U18 national team, which is going to be great to see. Tommy, great to have you on, man. Great energy, great conversation. Appreciate you, and it's always good to talk to you, man. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Tommy. You guys sending me out with some Beastie Boys here?
Yeah, you know it. Well, I can do that. Albie? How's that? How you like us now, Coach?
I like that. Okay, hey, we're going to have a great day today. Thank you, guys.
You are, dude. We are. You are. My man is not only showing up like that with that kind of energy, but he's producing the show remotely. Are you guys sending me out with some Beastie Boys? I love it. Has a guest ever said that? Tommy Lloyd, if you need him. Man, we need more of him. That was so good. Everything about that was good.
That was really good stuff yesterday. Literally after that, the Arizona Wildcat basketball talk took over the Jim Rome show for the rest of that 10 o'clock hour. It was absolutely great to hear.
Are you familiar with, the 90s Jim Rome show? Because there was There was a lot of Tucson Tempe battles back in those days. I remember the Tucson tuxedo came out of that era.
Oh, wow.
That's jeans and flip-flops is the Tucson tuxedo, as the Rome coined that way back in the day. But, yeah, I remember right after that interview, you're right, DK, a lot of Tempe and Tucson people got on the Rome show to send some thoughts back and forth to each other.
Yeah, it was definitely fun to hear that U of A, Arizona, Tucson talk coming on that national level yesterday. All right, we're going to get our final break in here. We'll come back. We'll wrap up the show here from Hi Corbett Field, getting you set for Arizona Wildcats baseball. The Wildcats take on the Oregon State Beavers tonight. We'll few notes on this series and the Wildcats as they look for another Pac-12 regular season championship. Cricket getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together. With collisions reported, Valencia and Midvale Park and Valencia, crash Prince and Romero and Prince Road, and also collision St. Mary's at I-10. Vehicle fire on Craycroft north of 22nd Street. 62 the low with clear skies, 94 tomorrow and 89 now. And I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by eBay Motors. eBay Motors is here for the ride with the parts you need at the prices you want. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they're guaranteed to fit your ride the first time, every time, or your money back. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
O'Reilly.
Extend the life of your engine with regular oil changes and save at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Right now, pick up 5 quarts of O'Reilly full synthetic motor oil and a MicroGuard oil filter for $31.99. Or upgrade to a MicroGuard Select filter for just $2 more. Limit supply, available in-store only at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The 2024 NFL schedule, powered by AWS, has been released, and single game tickets are on sale now. That's every epic showdown, every classic rivalry, every primetime game, 17 games for all 32 teams. Visit NFL.com/tickets to purchase tickets today. The NFL Ticket Network, including Ticketmaster, SeatGeek, and Sports Illustrated Tickets, are the official marketplaces for NFL tickets.
It's time to treat your home and your feet to new carpet. The Home Depot has an offer for you. For a limited time, you can get 10% off select Home Decorators Collection carpet, and installation by licensed providers is included. Offer valid May 9th through May 26, 2024. Receive 10% off select Home Decorators Collection special order carpet and installation. Installation included with qualifying purchase. Exclusions apply. For licenses, see homedepot.com/license numbers.
When you get nachos, tacos, empanadas, spicy queso with jalapenos, Pepto-Bismol's there. Pepto-Bismol provides fast, effective relief from nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, and diarrhea. All the things that can happen unexpectedly on vacation. So before you travel, pack the Pepto. Pepto-Bismol.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. In the process, started Wesley Financial Group to do one thing: help people get out of their timeshare nightmare. When you buy a timeshare, the timeshare company can raise your annual maintenance fees at will. I recently helped a couple that had their maintenance fees go from $800 to $3,200 a year. They also received a $4,000 assessment for a hurricane that was over 1,000 miles away. Sound crazy? Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
One out of your timeshare? Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
Broadway in Tucson presents the new 2024-2025 season,
Got about a minute.
including Mamma Mia and the Southern Arizona premieres of Clue live on stage, Beetlejuice,
Field. Last chance for you to get in today, 520-848-1290. We'll be back with you in studio tomorrow for the final show of the week from 3 till 6. We'll have complete recap of this game here today. All the reaction if the Wildcats can clinch. Well, we'll have reaction whether they clinch or not. For you coming up. You'll find some of that. We'll put some of that up online later tonight. So check our social media channels, YouTube, as well as Facebook and Twitter. We'll have a reaction for you. I was actually a little bit incorrect on my how many Pac-12 how many conference regular season championships the Wildcats have won. This would be number 11 if they win tonight. The first one, in fact, the first four, I should say, were won by Frank Sanset as the head coach. He won the WAC South 4 times, starting in 1963, 1966, 1968, and 1970. Then Jerry Kendall took over in 1973. He won the WAC South actually one time, and that was in 1974. His second season, Wildcats, in fact, went 16-2 in the WAC South that particular year, finishing 58-6. Overall, one of the best regular seasons, one of the best seasons, period, in Arizona baseball history. Then Jerry Kendall won the Pac-10 South Division, tied for the Pac-10 South Division in 1980. That was one of the years the Wildcats also won the national championship. Also won the Pac-10 South in 1989 and the Pac-10 South again in 1992. Then it goes to the total Pac-10 conference, and Andy Lopez won the next title there in 2012. That was another year in which the Wildcats won the national championship, and then Jay Johnson won a Pac-12 championship in 2021. This would be Chip Hale's first Pac-12 championship, and obviously the last Pac-12 championship of the Arizona baseball era. So 10 titles spread over essentially 4 different conferences: the WAC South, the Pac-10 South, the Pac-10, actually, I'm sorry, 3, because the Wildcats never actually won a conference title in the Pac-10 when the 2 divisions merged. Both of their most recent titles are in the Pac-12, so 2 titles in the Pac-12, titles in the Pac-10 South, and then titles in the WAC
It's
South.
a nice wrap up to the final season ever in the conference, DK. When
Yeah.
you think about the football team finished, third?
Third, yep.
The men's basketball team won. And as far as the revenue generating sports are concerned, football, basketball, and baseball, I mean, hopefully tonight they can clinch that title. That would be 2 out of 3 in finishing third in football. Not too bad.
Does not get any better than that, for sure. Want to thank all the folks that joined us today. Thanks to Brian Jeffries for being on hand. Chip Hale as well. Had a chance to hear from him. Brian Jeffries will have the call of all 3 games. Well, our coverage on game day will begin at 5:50 all 3 nights, tonight, tomorrow, and Saturday, for this 3-game set here at Hi Corbett Field. Should be a great one tonight here, as you're going to get 2 fabulous pictures. Jackson Kent will go to the mound for your Arizona Wildcats. Jackson Kent is 3-2 on the year with a 3.12 ERA, and Aiden May, the former Wildcat, 5-0 with a 2.77 earned run average. Get on out. I mean, the line, we still have a line now. The folks that are actually coming up and buying tickets at the box office now, that is the new line. Before it was the folks that already had their tickets to get in, but now a line for folks purchasing game night tickets here. It's going to be a raucous house here at High C. The juice box will be flowing for sure. For J.W. Madden, for Cricket, my name is David Kelly. It's DK on the Sports Tip. Have a great night, everybody. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Bear down. Arizona, let's win the Pac-12 tonight.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal, the sparks that ignite us, the piston.
All right, thanks. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yep.